Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SpawnCast episode. Did you say 97?
97.
All right, 97. All right, good. Yep, episode 97. Welcome to the SpawnCast. I know Sean is unable to be here because he is currently moving and he has like nothing at his house right now other than like a bed to sleep on the floor. So he's packed up. He's moving. He'll be back next week. I think Max is out doing something. A wedding, or I think he said he was at a wedding or something, but yeah, he's out doing stuff as well. He might be joining us later though if he gets home in time and can jump in. Otherwise though, we got a couple other people here. We do have, of course, Evan. I'm going from my left to right here. Evan, what's going on? How's it going?
Not much, just recovering from moving, all that stuff with him.
Yes, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, more stuff than I thought he would have, to be honest. I didn't think he would have that much stuff. I was picturing him to like have 2 bags and like a pillowcase or something, but no, he had a lot of stuff. Jordan is back with us. What's going on, Jordan?
How's it going? I'm just doing same old. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, working away on some videos, I assume.
Yeah, some awesome stuff.
Nice. Then we have our guest tonight. He said it's Shy Guy or Johnny. What's going on?
That's me. Thanks for having me on, guys. This has been a long time coming for a lot of people who watch me. They pester me like to come on the SpawnCast pretty much weekly, and I'm like, hey, they got to invite me, and here we are.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good to have you on. Where we talk about a bunch of stuff. Nate, fresh off his first discussion video that went over pretty well.
Yeah, talking about those Nintendo Directs and how we have become or potentially became conditioned to hype.
Yeah, and you filmed that whole thing while you're on a walk, so there you go.
Yeah, that's true. Walking my dog.
Yeah, so it worked out. It's actually strangely good quality, I will admit, with the phone. So good stuff there. Then we have OJ, of course. What's going on, man?
What's up? How's it going? And I think what's it called? Looks like Shulk. I'm not sure. Can somebody Jordan Fringe kind of looks like Shulk to me? I don't know. Looks like Shulk's dad.
Oh my god! Why you got to bring this debate up from like 2 days ago?
How's everybody doing today? Hi to Jordan. Hi to Jordan. How are you doing today, my man? How's everybody going today? How's everybody doing?
What? Hi. I'm good. Thanks, OJ. Good to always a pleasure to be with you.
Always a pleasure, Jordan.
Always a pleasure.
Yes. So what's everyone been playing? We'll go over some of the games we've been playing before we get into some of the topics and news and stuff. Not as much news this past week, but there was a big piece of news rather than a bunch of smaller things. But what's everyone playing? I've actually been working through Kingdom Hearts still myself.
I do want to say something real quick, John. I got some games. I got some games on PS4. I got Dot Hack. I'm really excited. I'm going to start playing these this weekend. And I got Gravity Rush 2. So I haven't started playing them. I just got them anime. Yeah, so I'm excited about these 2 games to start playing those. I've been playing a lot of Smash.
I have Dot Hack, and I've played that a few times. I know Max played it a lot. I didn't play Gravity Rush 2 yet, though. I played the first one on Vita, I think. I think that was on the Vita.
Yeah, it's on PS4 too. I played and beat the one on PS4. So I was just waiting, and I wanted to buy it beforehand. But it kept on being sold out at Best Buy, and it was like $15 like at Best Buy. And then I still have my Best Buy Gamers Club, so then it was even cheaper. So I got it for a really good price. So I'm really happy about these 2. I'm gonna start playing them along with Wargroove. I've been playing Wargroove too. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Wargroove is good. There's a lot of value in Wargroove. I didn't play it as much, but I just was rolling through Kingdom Hearts 3, and I don't know what's happening, but the
nobody
fun.
Does. That's the key.
Like I said, you press buttons and things explode on screen, so it's kind of fun, at least for that. Toy Story World looks crazy, so it looks like the movie.
Yeah, that whole game is amazing looking.
That's the one thing I'll give it. It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
So I'll at least say that it looks great.
Yeah.
What about everyone else?
Same. Kingdom Hearts a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Okay. What about Shy Guy?
My last video was on Warframe for Nintendo Switch because they got that big Fortuna update. I hadn't played it before, and man, it has a lot of issues, but I am really impressed with how that game plays on the Switch.
Yeah, Panic Button did a good job with that, and they're sticking around for a while with basically doing the patches with Digital Extremes. So yeah, when we did the video for them, we were talking to them. Apparently, they were just keeping Panic Button on like indefinitely, I guess. So
yeah, when they announced like the game was coming, I assumed they weren't even going to do like the open world stuff. I'm like, man, they're not going to get this running on Switch, and they didn't. It works fairly well. I was surprised.
Yeah. We Evan, you put a lot of hours into Warframe, so you moved your entire account over to the Switch one.
Yeah, to check it out. The stuff on the PC was already at Fortuna at that point. And I think even it's a patch ahead for Fortuna right now. Mm-hmm. So it's a decent new zone. It actually had a lot of fun aspects to it. You gotten your hoverboard yet?
Yep, that was like the first thing I did. That thing
The
is
Tony
so
Hawk
fun.
mode. Yeah, you can use it in the other open world as well if you're just stick around.
Nice.
I say Tony Hawk, man. It's
dude,
you got to go there with that mobile game that just came out.
Yeah, man, Tony Hawk, the cell phone game. Have you heard about it?
Oh man,
so good.
That's where we are.
I never thought I would wish they would bring back the what was it, the skateboard one where you had the physical skateboard on the ground.
Oh,
it's like I'd rather
Tony
have
Hawk Ride. Oh gosh, I wish I was around online when that came out so I could have reviewed that. That would have been so dumb. Yeah, that's great. What about Nate? What have you been up to? You're always playing all these interesting, weird games on Switch. What have you been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing Riddled Corpses EX. It's a twin stick shooter of two anime girls with giant boobs, and it's a
hell yeah
twin stick shooter where you're shooting zombies while walking down a city street.
Wow. Okay, how much is that on Switch?
I'm not sure. It comes out, I think, March 2nd.
Oh, wow. What? March 2nd? Jeez, they already got your review copy for that?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's actually not that bad. I just don't understand why the logo is two anime girls with big boobs, because your little pixel character's actually in the game. So
they got to sell the game.
Of all, why not?
Marketing.
That's what I want to know is why not?
That's why the comic book cover art's usually not the interior. I mean,
good point.
Can you repeat that again, Nate? People were asking what you even said.
At what point?
Your game, the game you're playing.
Riddled Corpses EX.
Riddled Corpses EX. Man, what a weird name for a game. That is okay. Interesting. Interesting. You always come up with the weirdest games, Nate, when you come on here.
Yeah, that's what I'm good for.
Yeah, like you just roll through like all the sites that give us the codes and stuff, and you're just looking for like the weird games, aren't you?
Yeah, because no one's gonna cover them, so I may as well do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a good point.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, that's the big one. Nate, did you get Resident Evil 2 or Kingdom Hearts yet?
I have not.
Dude, he's got to play the anime booby shooter. Doesn't have time for that.
Thanks, slacking over there.
Sounds more fun to me. No, I'm joking. I need to pick up Kingdom Hearts as well. Some people in the chat were saying OJ forgot to pick up Kingdom Hearts. It's not that I didn't. It's not that I forgot. It's like I'm just gonna wait. I'm not like conceding into the hype. There's no need for me. I didn't play
leave the hype.
Yeah, like I didn't play all the other. I've been waiting 14 years for Kingdom Hearts.
You went to buy it on Best Buy's website, and you ended up buying the .hack game and Gravity Rush 2, and forgot about Kingdom Hearts.
So maybe yeah, you're right. That did happen. I did go on the website to buy Kingdom Hearts and ended up with these two games instead. But I think I got more value, and it was half the price.
What about Evan? I know one of the games you're going to say, but let's hold that off for after we're done so we can go into it, because that's a whole thing at this point.
Okay. So it's mostly, I guess, at that point, just pretty much Apex Legends this whole week has been what I've been
all week. Apex Legends. So why should I play? I mean, I played Apex Legends, but what is it about Apex Legends that's making you play it so much?
For me, I mean, it's weird doing this speech again, even though we did it without the live button going. But it's for me, there's pieces of it each and like all over the place, where the game itself feels like a bunch of games I used to play that I loved that are either dead or canceled or whatever happened. Elements of the hero play, like in Gigantic, elements of the close range feel of combat, like the old Fear had, elements of mobility, like Firefall had. I loved all those aspects of those games, and then they all just died, vanished, fell off the face of the earth. And now this game kind of took little pieces of that, made one game, and yeah, it's a battle royale. I don't really care about that. It's just the aspects of it, the hero mode level of like throwing abilities out, killing a whole team by yourself. It feels.
I do like the teams of 3. I see how that could be a lot of fun, because whenever we did Fortnite, I preferred doing the teams, like the groups, basically. Because honestly, I was bored when it was just me, like straight up.
And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't wait for solo mode. And that's kind of weird to me, because there's very specific characters who feel like they wouldn't even be played in solo mode. Like it kind of kills a major aspect of the game. But they do have the whole like click box where it tells you like what you want to play, and it only has squads and practice. So they might have a plan for that, but I don't know.
It's just one map, right? Or do they have multiples?
One map so far, and I think they announced a second that should be coming soon.
Oh man, if they got a second map out that fast, and like it took how long for PUBG to get a second one?
Be pretty quick.
See, I'm the kind of person who would prefer the solo mode because when I team up with other people, they just make fun of me and like yell obscenities at me. So I'd rather just fail on my own.
That's the trick, and that's actually where Respawn did a lot of really good work in this game. Is you can just mute all that. The characters interact so much that you almost don't need to listen to teammates. They'll tell you when they're shooting at people, when they see people. The actual
I like the dots.
pings,
I like how they
the
dot
pings
everything.
are fantastic. I know that other battle royales don't use them just because communication's kind of part of that. But it's just put a ping out. Someone can see it. You can tell them you're going over somewhere, that there's loot there. You should head that way and check it, or that you're covering a different area.
We used to do that. We used to do that in Bad Company too all the time. Remember?
Yep.
We used to like ping
everything.
If we dot everyone, and then you get points like if somebody killed the dotted enemy that you like pointed out. That was awesome.
Yeah, and it's weird because the characters actually interact like complimentary to you. Like I cracked the dude at 350 meters out with a light sniper rifle and killed him, and the characters in the game were just like, "Dude, that was an awesome shot." And it's like you don't have to listen. Moments. Yeah, you don't have to listen to players if you don't want. I leave it on just because I don't care. But
guys, I'll get
I mute everybody. Sorry, I mute.
I'll get some of the.
Just mute everybody right off the bat. First thing I do.
That's the first thing I do.
We'll get some of the super chats at 9:30, so we got another 15 minutes. But outside of that, did anyone get a chance to play the Crackdown 3 test beta thing that they did?
I've heard about it.
It was so fun.
No, but I watched a lot of it, and it's an interesting game.
That's a good way to put it.
That's how you really feel.
The multiplayer is not good.
Okay,
there's a lot of destruction though. But the
what gave that
destruction
away?
pretty cool, right, Jordan? Like everybody.
Does it feel like a game that took 5 billion years to make?
No, it feels like a game that they restarted 3 times and they were like, "Wait, this thing needs to be out next year." Yeah, let's just put it together. There's a lot of problems with the game in multiplayer. I think it's gonna be a better single player game without the destruction. Believe it or not, I think it's gonna be better single player.
When was the first time they showed Crackdown 3?
Okay, so they showed it midway through 2014, which makes me believe that they started development around the time the Xbox One launched.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
I think, didn't they show the multiplayer for that as well? And that multiplayer looked awesome.
It looked different. It looked a bit different. The problem now is, like, the buildings, like, it was pointed out by IGN, and I was like, I'll have to see, and I checked it. Yeah, it feels like the buildings are made out of, like, paper mache. Like the stuff will blow apart and then it'll hit the ground and it'll like bounce. Like the
bounce or it'll
the debris.
Yeah, like sheetrock and stuff. It'll fall on you and it doesn't hurt you. You're just like, oh, cool.
We're in the future, dude. Come on, man.
But occasionally when you're playing, one of the best bits is when you can drop part of a building on someone and then they're stuck. They're not dead. They're stuck. They're just stuck in the rubble. They can't move. They can't really look around. That's it.
This is going to win Game of the Year 2006 for sure.
I mean, but like you're running around and you press left trigger and it will like deadlock to a person.
Yeah.
Like it just grabs them and you
Missile
cannot
heat sink. Like it's not a way to get away from it.
Everything just locks onto it. So like there's no need to aim or anything. Like you basically lock on, you shoot some rockets, then you switch to your like auto rifle and it's over basically for somebody. Or if 2 people find you, you're not going to win. You're in trouble. It just wasn't, the multiplayer just wasn't very good, I don't think. And honestly, the cloud destruction really wasn't that impressive. Like I think it was better done in Red Faction Guerrilla, to be honest.
Oh, 100%.
Oh man, I love it in that game.
Like I think it was better. I actually preferred Bad Company 2's destruction, and that was online as well, playing against people. That actually at least had some impact. Like if you blew up a building and somebody was in there, they would die from it. Whereas in Crackdown, you just kind of pop out the other side. So
yeah, I feel bad about that one. It's like, man, Microsoft with these exclusives, they just can't get it right.
It's mind-boggling. I mean, this is the last one from the Matrix era, is what everyone was saying or pointing out. I'm like,
okay.
All right. So
like before Phil Spencer took over.
Yeah, the word is that Ninja Theory is going to have at least something to show at E3, their first game apparently under Microsoft's umbrella. So I'm like, all right, we'll see if they have something. You know, I guess at least I'll say, all right, let's see what Phil Spencer I guess can put together.
Yeah.
But man,
yeah, it's like I want to have faith in all these like acquirements they've had, but it's like, man, I look at some of these games, especially when they release, and it's just I don't know. It's not great, but there was some high bitrate footage that was put up online for the single player, and it looked way better. Like it looked so much cleaner, Evan, than the multiplayer that we played. Okay,
like visually, it looked so it was native 4K and everything, and it looked way better. So I think I'll have more fun with the single player. We were talking about Evan. Did you play any of the Crackdown games before this?
Didn't play any, but I watched that video of I guess IGN playing through it, and looked like there were a lot of holes in like the AI and everything. So.
Yeah, it's basically Crackdown's always been like, you played the first one. I like the first one. The second one was okay, but the first one you just run around, you collect spheres, and you slowly become like a superhero basically from collecting all the spheres. Whether you get better weapons when you pick them up, they'll actually morph in your hands into better weapons, or your cars will like transform, or you can just jump higher and punch better. So I like doing that, running around and collecting all the spheres. But I think I'll just go back to Halo Master Chief Collection on the Xbox if I want a multiplayer game, as opposed to this. But it's also going to be on Game Pass, so I'm just going to download
there's no
it.
excuse not to try it if you have that.
It's also going to be 2 icons. It's going to be a campaign and a multiplayer. Yes, it's going to be 2 different. So you basically pick which one you want to do, I guess. Which also drives home the fact that it was done by like 80 different companies together that made it. I think it was 5 studios.
2 different. Why 2 different icons? Like on your home menu on your Xbox dashboard?
Yeah, one's multiplayer, one's single player.
It's dumb. Why don't they just?
I don't know. I feel like they were creating it separately, and then they were like, "Oh wait, we got to put this together."
Yeah, because the idea is that level of destruction is only in the multiplayer, so it might almost be 2 separately augmented engines.
I thought about that too. I was like, well, maybe one's just literally set up for the destruction element. And we didn't even see what happens if you start lagging with that. I didn't lag at all with it, so I'm wondering what happens if somebody has a bad connection, that destruction's attempting to happen in front of you. Will it like start the pieces start teleporting around or something? I don't know, but I'll admit, I will say this: Crackdown 3's multiplayer is not great. I'm hoping the single player is good. Or just fun. It's Game Pass.
When's the release date for that?
Next Friday. So
so not a lot of time to fix it if they wanted to.
Oh no, we were playing the final game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hold your breath for a great campaign either.
You know what they'll probably do if there's lag? They'll probably do it to where it absorbs the lag in one part, so like the destruction and stuff won't be affected. Kind of like how ARMS, like it like absorbs the lag like when you punch, you know? And like it absorbs the lag there, so it doesn't become unsmooth like otherwise. So I think they'll probably do some shifty things to make sure it doesn't lag like with the destruction and stuff.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm sure they haven't figured out. And honestly, IGN said it too. I agree with a lot of what they were saying. It feels more like a tech demo first, and then a game second. And you know what? If they do some cool stuff with this tech going forward, going into the next generation, it'll be interesting. But yeah, I think they were just looking for a game to put this into, and Crackdown made sense for them, and that's how they did it. But I don't think I would go into this super excited about the online multiplayer. So just get it on Game Pass. I'll say that.
Review.
You know what? This game's going to come out, and I would be shocked I'd be surprised if it breaks a 70 on Metacritic.
Wow.
I think it's going to be another. You know what? Maybe it'll be low 70s. It's going to be like another high 60s, low 70s on Metacritic.
68 for sure.
Sounds like a Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah. Unless it's Forza. Forza Horizon is awesome.
Yeah, I shouldn't hate. And honestly, like I'll say, like I played Sea of Thieves recently, and they have improved the game a lot. I wouldn't go as far to say it's like a great game or anything, but they have done put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, that right, Evan? That they changed a lot of stuff in that game.
A ton of stuff added to it. Yeah,
because that game was boring after like an hour. It was not fun. But if they keep adding stuff to it, that's fine. But it also makes you wonder if that game should have just come out. Like,
definitely. You definitely think. I definitely think it was it was something that they wanted to push out there to push Game Pass like early. They wanted that to be like kind of the big draw, like one of our big exclusives. Because it was like that, and then like early on it was like that, and what's the zombie game? State of Decay 2. Those were like their two. That was like the two big things right out of the gate for Game Pass.
So many people lost their characters from like falling through the levels. Oh man. Max was trying to review that game, and he sent me a message and was like, "My guy fell through the level. Look," and he showed me a video. It was because it's permadeath, so he died and he didn't have his character anymore. Apparently,
it's just a feature.
Apparently, the rocks were like the most terrifying part in that game because they would glitch and be stuck and like die. So that was a whole thing too. But I'm hoping that, I believe in Ninja Theory. I think they can bring a good game to the table. So, after Hellblade, I'll be curious to see if they show up to E3 with a new game, as rumors are pointing to that. And hey, Microsoft should show up and do something there, right? With no one else there other than Nintendo.
You know what would be cool if Microsoft could work with, who was it? I think it was Bandai Namco, like to like another Enslaved. Because did any of you guys play Enslaved?
Oh, I did. I didn't play it. No,
I did.
The game is actually pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's good gameplay, and the story I actually really liked as well.
the story's really good, much better. I think it's a lot better than the gameplay.
Yeah, I agree.
But the gameplay's not bad. It's not a bad game at all, and that would be cool if they can kind of go back to that. I mean, I'm hoping. I don't know if they will.
Enslaved Odyssey to the east now. That's the secret.
There you go. Yeah, that one's crazy because it was like. Oh no, go ahead.
Sorry, was that Bandai Namco that published that? I forgot who was the actual publisher of that game.
Yeah, it was Bandai Namco.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Chaya.
Oh yeah, I was just saying it's crazy how that was basically like one big escort mission, and it was actually really enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, well, at least after this, there won't be any old games left over that they're trying to push out. I mean, this honestly, it looks kind of like a 2013, 2014 game that went into development then, and we're almost out of that era, I guess. But the whole time, think about it that way. That means the whole time Phil Spencer's been trying to right the ship all the way through the Xbox One generation. So he'll actually, I guess, get to make his mark in the next generation. At that point, see what the initiative has. You know, but yeah, Game Pass it. Maybe rent it. That's about it. Redbox.
It's a new option on the review score. It's Game Pass it.
Game Pass it,
Game
man.
Pass it.
Game Pass it. Go hit Redbox if you don't have that, just to see. But you might honestly. Oh, good.
Oh man, I just keep interrupting. I'm not good at this. I'm sorry, but I was going to say I was actually really excited to see that Shadow of the Tomb Raider's coming to Game Pass and that inside Xbox. I'm like, that's how I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I made the mistake of buying that game day one.
My Xbox came with it, so I'm not as excited.
Oh man, I dropped 60 on that thing.
You should never buy Tomb Raider game. Those games, for some reason, just dwindle in value. Like it, I don't know why.
Oh, yeah?
Tomb Raider
Wasn't it $30 right away?
It's like quick. It's just like they just dwindle in value whenever they come out. I think it's because people just see it as like Uncharted, female Uncharted. I'm not sure.
It's Uncharted with a little bit more gameplay and puzzle solving.
Yeah. I mean,
but this one was like
more brutal deaths.
This one was a lot of puzzle solving though compared to the old ones. And I got kind of bored. I was like, okay.
I would say there's downtimes, but I think the story, like the apocalypse story, is actually fascinating. I actually really enjoy like the moment when it happens, like one of the first levels and the water comes through the city.
I liked Rise of the Tomb Raider.
That was
Rise of
incredible.
the Tomb Raider was really good. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping Microsoft and Nintendo show up at E3 and have some cool stuff. But I think Microsoft is going to go big. So
yeah, they really have to.
That should be fun. I'll be curious if they show up with Scarlet at all, just to show some more of it. But we'll see. We'll see. Anything else, guys, that we played this week that I missed? Anything else good? I can go to some of these super chats otherwise before we talk about some of the topics. So there is some interesting stuff with rumored direct stuff and everything. So that'll be interesting. And I know everyone's really excited to talk about Activision. So. Get to that as well. Rufflemut says Donkey review on Kingdom Hearts 3 is brutal, must watch. I will watch that at some point, maybe tonight. When he says and Donkey ain't wrong, highly disappointing. Okay, so I guess Donkey didn't like it very much, which I actually can see why a lot of people wouldn't like it.
There's like a war going on between like the Keyblade family or whatever. Like, I don't know what to call the people that really like
the fans.
Keyblade.
Wait, are we talking about the actual game or the fandom right now?
like the fans, like the people who like it, and like popular figures out there. So because like Leffen also put out like stuff on Twitter, and people like Leffen's a pro Smash Brothers player, Dragon Ball Fighters and all that crap, and Ultimate, and like people were going after him too. So it's not just Donkey. It's like a lot of like there's been like other prominent type of people come on and say this game's like trash, or I've just been sitting back with the popcorn, the Michael Jackson gift, just like
listen. I press A and Y, things blow up on my screen, and I'm okay.
I think like I kind of saw a lot of people were gonna dislike this game from a certain view, because if you're a big fan of it and you've been waiting this long, it's gonna be extremely hard to hit any expectations you were thinking. So even if it's slightly not close like to what you wanted, you're gonna be more vocal about your disappointment.
I think Leffen fell into a different bracket. He basically listened to everyone saying it was gonna be the best thing ever, and then he picked it up and thought it wasn't. So
well,
that's. I wonder how many people, like with how much hype was around it, weren't really familiar, or maybe don't even remember the original games, like on PS2. Because, at least from what I remember, and I haven't played too much of it, but it's pretty consistent. Like with what I remember, I mean, super cringy dialogue and like an obnoxious story. But I don't know.
I still need to get more. I just need to get through it a little bit more. Apparently, there's some cool stuff at the end. So. Nate even told me. Nate ruined that one for me. So,
How did I ruin it? I asked you to be spoiled.
Yeah, I said I don't care. I already knew. I already felt like something like I wasn't happening anyway. It's good to see it though, because I'm sure they watched my video and I challenged them to make a new one, and they were like, "Well, put it at the end." He said we can't do it. So there you go. If you're at the end of Kingdom Hearts, you know what I'm talking about. So I made a video making fun of this game at one point. A lot of people weren't happy about it. Actually, yeah, someone else on here did too. So it wasn't
sometimes those are the best videos.
But if I start pointing it out,
happy.
it's going to ruin the end of parts. The big Easter egg thing at the end of Kingdom Hearts it's going to ruin that. So let me see. Noah says thanks for making all your vids. Love Newswave. Absolutely, Noah. Thank you. Tether Gaming says the guy from Nier is the best looking protagonist.
Oh my god! Stop with this debate. It's true. But I'm not gonna go back and forth with OJ again on this. I already saw the stupid picture sent to me on Twitter.
I'm not saying nothing. All I'm saying is the dude from Nier is ugly as hell, dude.
Stop! Oh my god. Anyway,
Ruffle then said, Square should have hired Platinum to help develop the gameplay for Kingdom Hearts 3. It feels so dated and boring after a while. Press X and triangle to win. Hey man, I press A and Y and all kinds of cool stuff. I go on carnival rides. I have a merry-go-round. There's a lot of stuff happening.
As a big Disney fan, like the fan of the theme parks, honestly, like some of those specials are like really cool to me.
There's some cool stuff, you know, like I said, they got the water park going on where you kind of splash down and stuff. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun there. I maybe it's because I'm not as into the lore. Like I bet you if I was really into the plot, I would get really mad at something in the game. But I just kind of nod through the cutscenes, and then start hitting things again. So it's fine. Matthew says, Woot Shy Guy. Finally where he belongs on a podcast with the greatest gaming minds on YouTube. Love all of you. Keep up the good work, all.
That is where I belong. You're right.
Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that. Joe says, so I guess we can thank EA for the lack of a Star Wars world and lightsaber keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 3. Ooh. Probably, yes. If Disney did not make that entirely exclusive to them, yeah. Yeah, I bet you EA doesn't want anybody, even Square, to use that stuff. So yeah, that's probably in their contracts. Probably why.
But no Avengers stuff.
Why didn't say? Yeah, it'd be cool to see. Like, I mean, then you
do the battle in New York from the first Avengers. That'd be dope.
That could have been fun. Put Iron Man in there or something.
Oh yeah.
Even if that was like a costume or some kind.
I mean, they have a realistic Pirates of the Caribbean world, so why not a realistic Avengers?
But they could go super meta and just go into the Legos Avenger universe.
That's a good coming together. I'd play
that. Wolfie says, Spawn, are you willing to predict if Prime Trilogy be the next Direct? Don't worry, won't give you a hard time if it's MIA again. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think, Nate?
Hit us with those facts.
What do you think, Nate?
Nate knows.
I'm not foolish enough to predict that.
Dude, I'm gonna 100% confirm right here, right now, that it will be there.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I know nothing.
Yeah, that was we'll see. What I don't even know what you're talking about. What Direct? There's no Direct coming. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what the hell's a Direct?
You guys watch Nate's video?
Didn't you just make a video talk about where people are overhyping, and then you're asking what's a Direct? You just made a video on a Direct, Nate. Can you be honest with me?
Yeah, but I told people not to like overhyping. Like live their life by the way of the Direct. So So I'm going philosophical here. What is a Direct?
Is that what you wanted people to do to live their life? That's why you were walking your dog while you did the video.
Yeah, I was living my life while talking about the Direct instead of sitting in my computer refreshing a page every 2 seconds saying, "Where's the Direct? Where's the Direct? Where's the Direct?"
Look, there's gonna be plenty of stuff to buy ahead of E3. So there you go. And if some of it happens to be a compilation of 3 games that is prime for release, hey, there you go.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's Dot Hack. There's a compilation of 3 games.
There you go.
The slyness of that.
There you go. Dot Hack.
Oh wait, I just prime for release. Does that hit something? What are you trying to hit, John?
Damn, that's like one of my teases.
I know you had Samus like coming out of the coffin though, man. That was a good one.
Yeah. Then she just went back in.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no.
Riku Keith says there will be some unannounced titles coming this year. You think it's third-party / Wii U ports or some new first-party titles? Hoping for a 2D Zelda game. Well, 2D Zelda seems to be the rumor getting thrown around. So there you go. I guess you'll have a 2D Zelda game based on
Hourglass 2.
So many people are apparently saying what that would be. I'm not sure, but apparently there's another Zelda game Although Nintendo's also said they wanted a Zelda game every year, so I guess
Which they've done for like the last half decade.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be weird if some sort of Zelda game came out this year, and if it's 2D one, I guess that would make sense as kind of a, I don't know, would that be like a spin-off type thing? It wouldn't be like a Breath of the Wild or something. So it'd probably be a one that'd be a little easier to develop, I assume. What about I think it's third party or Wii U ports or some new first party title? I think a mixture of all that actually.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird distinction. Like,
I mean, you're going to
see some of it. Of course, it's going to be all of it.
You're going to see something for every category. Yes, you will see more Wii U games. I don't know what to tell you.
You'll see some ports, you'll see some third-party games, and you'll see Nintendo make original stuff.
Yes,
they do all the time.
I'm sorry, people. You're going to see more Wii U games.
It's like when I talk about Microsoft here, where they only release like one game a year.
Oh man. Oh, that hurt. I felt that one.
Hey, this year they have 2. They have Crackdown 3 and Ori 2.
Ori, dude. Ori's coming, man.
At least Ori 2 will be good.
Yeah,
Ori
I like
2 is
the
gonna be
first
good.
one a lot.
First one's on game. You can get them on Game Pass now. On Game
Dude,
Pass.
this is like an ad for Game Pass.
I know, I was about to
It's
say,
really
we talk about it every week so much now. Like, they better start sending us some
Microsoft
checks.
needs to sponsor us, man.
Yeah.
Come on. You know,
Some
I do wonder how many subscriptions of Game Pass I've sold, like in my time on YouTube. I feel like it's been a lot. Because I've talked about it very, very highly. Evan, you can actually sign up for it and you get stuff on your PC too, because
I think I'm good with that for now.
they're bringing Game Pass to the PC, man. Crackdown's right there for you. You bought Sea of Thieves though. Sea of Thieves was 6 months Game Pass.
So I own it now. I don't want to buy Game Pass.
Yeah, it's all going to be subscription services someday anyway.
I don't know. I think the problem for me with Game Pass is that you don't get to, as soon as you're done subscribing to the service, like you don't get those games anymore, right?
That's true.
Yeah, they're gone.
So it feels like you have to keep subscribing to it. You know, it feels like
well, that's how they get you.
Yeah, exactly. That's how, and then it's like $100-something every single year. And if you stop, you lose all those games. Like to me, I just rather just own the game, and I rather just wait till it's a cheap price and then own the game. But I can see why you're right. I mean, the future, I guess, is subscription stuff. But I'm fighting for my physical and old school copy. You know?
No, I'm definitely the same way, and I feel like it's the same thing that happened with like Netflix and Hulu, right? It's like, oh, I don't need to buy movies. I don't need to buy like TV show box sets. It's all right here. But then you realize, like, wait, now when I stop subscribing, I don't have anything.
Yeah, I preserve, like, my thing is like preserving, like collecting like films and movies. Like I have Netflix and all that, but like I buy almost every movie,
everything too.
I have this is gonna be weird to admit this. I have like 3,500 Blu-rays.
3,000.
I respect that.
I have a whole wall. I'll send you
a
guys a
shoebox.
picture later. I have a whole wall just covered in movies.
Wow.
Yeah, I almost bought that many copies of Buck Bumble. So I mean, that's interesting, dude. Nice.
Yeah. It's next generation will be weird because we're gonna kick off that streaming services in the generation. So that'll be interesting to see how people respond to that. Sakon 10 says Nintendo's E3 on Monday night taking Sony's place. I think they'll stick to Tuesday.
That's been Nintendo's thing since pretty much the dawn of E3. Nintendo always does it right before the show floor opens.
Yeah, but this is the first time since the place has ever like open that Sony's just not going to be there. So
yeah, but
you never know. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't just do it then and then have the treehouse right after.
yeah, Nintendo likes having their things set up where they show their presentation, even as the person are watching it. As soon as it's over, they're on the show floor, they're playing the games instead of sitting there waiting another day. Be like, can't wait to play Pokemon Gen 8. It's no,
yeah,
go right to it.
Because Microsoft does their stuff in their own building now, and pretty much after the event ends, they open the doors for press to come in and play that stuff that they just showed. Like right away. So that makes sense that they would do it that way. Nintendo would and have their floor there.
I think they need to bring the girls back that had the like 3DSs shackled to them. That was like where it was at.
Oh man.
Was that E3 2011? That was Skyward Sword E3, right? Maybe that was E3 2011 or 2010. One of those two.
I'm trying to think, when was the 3DS revealed at E3? Was it the year
That's
before
literally
it
the only
launched?
thing I remember from it.
I think it was 2010, E3 2010, then 2010 or 2011, one of those two.
C script with $2, no message. And I see script, and then Riley says Square to remake their SNES RPGs in the Octo engine. I mean, they trademarked basically, or they trademarked the term for it, HD 2D or whatever. So
can what did he say? Which games does he want remade in the Octo engine?
just Super Nintendo RPGs in the Octo engine. Like, go get one of those and bring it up.
I don't want a bunch of Octopath clones. I've talked about that quite a bit. Like, I don't want a bunch of Octopath.
You don't-
Yeah, I
You
feel
don't
like you
want
kind of
Final
get that with
Fantasy.
indie games.
You don't want Final Fantasy VI and Octopath visual presentation.
No, I want, if they're gonna remake Final Fantasy VI, I want it to be a full remake.
Yeah, but look what's happening with
Octo-
Final Fantasy VII. It's taken a decade, and we still don't even have
that's
a.
because they have
spin-off.
that's because they have the weirdo dude producing it. Get somebody who's competent.
I mean, drop it into that studio, and if they have the, I think it's just the HD 2D thing that they trademarked, so they'll probably just keep using that. Not necessarily that same exact style, but like if they HD 2D-ify like Final Fantasy 6 with that studio that made Octopath, that could actually be pretty cool. If it looks a bit different, and they try to change it up a little bit with the art style. That would be kind of neat. I think the issue is right now. I was going to bring this up during the Kingdom Hearts 3 talk. Final Fantasy 7 remake is going to turn into that exact same issue at this point. We're going to get it. It's going to be some action adventure game, and it's not going to be Final Fantasy. And we're going to be all mad at it. And it took like 8 years to come out on the PS6. So, I mean, I assume now that Kingdom Hearts 3 is done, they're working on that now. But
You would hope.
Remember, be taken for like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy. This dude is like, I mean, like it's too much.
It takes him a few years to find out where he wants to put the zippers on his characters.
Yeah, all those belts and straps.
Yeah, look at Lulu. She had about 1,200 belts.
it's I don't. It's I think they're just their management is just really. It's probably the worst in gaming, to be honest. It's got to be bad. Like,
hey, what are you guys up to? Oh, we're still working on that game. Oh, okay. I'll check in another year. See what's going on.
Man,
it's not good because of Final Fantasy 15, you know, and then Kingdom Hearts, and then Final Fantasy 7 remake. I mean, this is like this is not good. You know, it's. I mean, I can understand 1, maybe 2, but this is 3 now. You know. And then like poor, like where's Chrono Trigger? You know, where's Secret of Mana remake was like given, like they literally gave them like $5 and said, "Hey, make a game." Like,
yeah,
like, for free.
Those trademarks in Europe though.
I did, but
oh yeah,
I watched your news wave. I mean, I didn't even want to talk about it like in a video because I don't want to be disappointed. But
you don't
like,
want to jinx it.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, man. I mean, it's just like, yeah, but the trademarks for like Seiken Densetsu. I mean, hopefully it comes over. But
man, I hope it does. And then Johnny with Rosado with $5, no message. Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, I hope that does happen though. That would be awesome.
Why do we have to wait for like old? I don't understand why this is even an issue though. That's my problem. It's like, why is old games an issue? Like,
look at that. Will McConnell actually dropped in a super chat while we're talking about this. Like, you think Secret of Mana Collection? You think Secret of Mana Collection? I guess comes over. If it did come out, will it be summer release? How many copies will be sold in the West?
Yeah.
Oh God,
I don't know.
100, maybe 100,000.
I was gonna say 100 to 200,000 copies. I don't think it'll be anything crazy. I think they'd make money on it because I mean, it probably wouldn't cost them a lot to move it over. I think it would sell more in the West than it does out in the East.
Oh yeah, most games sell more.
Disgaea sold better in the West, which was interesting. So I think it'd be cool just because that would be the first time that Seiken Densetsu 3 was translated officially and localized. The fans have even said they can use that translation if they want, but none of the companies want to do that. So I hope it comes over though. I do. Do we want to go over the Nintendo Direct rumors that we briefly touched on a little bit before we went on air? We have King Zell on Reset Era talked about the 13 is your lucky number for the Direct. Do we assume that means, as everyone else seems to already assume, that Nintendo will have their Direct on Wednesday the 13th? So in 4 days.
It works for me.
Because otherwise it would be that it's happening the 21st on a Thursday, which would be 13 days from when he made that post.
They have to pick that day.
That seems too late in the month.
I think so too, because then if they want to, let's just pretend they want to release something early in March. It'd be way too late then.
Or even early April. You want, at least 6 weeks so you can market pre-order. So that's a little too late if you do February 21st. So 13th sounds good. A little pre-Valentine's love from Nintendo.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense for what they have going now. I think the 13th though, I think falling into this far into February was kind of odd for them. Like even that feels a little late compared to what they would have done the past couple of years. But I mean, I guess they got to do it eventually, right? They just had their investors briefing and everything. They weren't happy with everything apparently. Where they had what was that interview where Furukawa talked about how it was they didn't drive enough sales or interest in the Switch to make it to their goal.
Yeah,
Which they did
but
set a high goal though.
they
That
did
was
set a
pretty
high goal, and they're only going to come what 2.5 million
Yeah.
shy of it. But I mean, when you look at the time frame he actually gave, where the software wasn't moving enough hardware, was April to September. And last year, during that time frame, their biggest release that they thought was going to move hardware was Labo.
Yeah.
Once Labo failed to catch
Ooh.
on, they kind of set. I mean, you still did amazing. You came really close to the figure without Labo becoming that casual hardware driver they thought it was going to be.
Hey man, that was their answer to God of War that day.
Yeah, that's true. Literally, Kratos versus cardboard.
Yeah,
I know which one I bought.
I mean,
Only one could jump technically.
Labo.
I mean, Labo sold what, over 1 million copies for the variety kit? I think.
Yeah, the variety kit did over 1 million.
That's shocking. Yeah, that's
The other
a lot of
two
cardboard.
remain unknown.
They did talk about how they're pushing it more into educational like circles now, so for like schools and everything, which is probably where it should be. That's where it probably makes the most sense. But
Most kids will still be wishing they got God of War.
yeah, we assume there's going to be another Labo kit probably coming up soon too. So they're going to stick with it, and they'll keep pushing it. I assume they made their money back. Although I have to admit, the amount of probably work and engineering that went into creating that had to have been ridiculous, because there's some clever tricks that they used to make Labo work. So I don't know. They have some creative people over there. But he also gave us some games, which was interesting to hear about. Is anyone really surprised that Nintendo would be doing Super Mario Maker 2?
Shocked.
That's a game that sells to 25% of the Wii U base, and then sold another couple million on the 3DS. I'm shocked Nintendo would make a sequel to a successful IP.
Yeah, but are hills confirmed?
What?
Are hills confirmed?
Oh yeah, that was your thing, Nate. You're like, there better be hills in that thing.
Confirm the hills.
We've been talking about the next Mario Maker for a while on here now. How long have we been talking about? 8 months now about how the next Mario Maker would have to happen?
Because there was the rumor kind of hit where people were hinting at or just kind of expecting it. Yeah, probably late last year. I think.
I mean, we've been talking about they should do that anyway. And remember, then I think it really tipped us off when they changed their policies for YouTube and streamers and everything, where they're like, oh yeah,
that would be huge. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, I feel like at that point they were like, well, the first one was like this viral success online where it took over Twitch for a long time and people were posting all over YouTube. But I mean, there had to have been some level of disinterest after a little while if Nintendo was claiming every single thing.
It's funny.
Bigger channels.
As soon as it starts catching back on with the sequel, everyone's streaming and playing it. They just go back like, oh, we want to make some of this money too. They just start doing it again.
It! Don't even say that. I know you're joking, but don't even say that.
The Partners Program 2.0.
Dude, I've been having such a good time using trailers and stuff. It's been amazing. But
I know. Tell me about it. I feel like some people, if you don't cover a lot of Nintendo, you don't understand like how much like chopping up and rearranging of footage goes into making a video with like a lot of Nintendo footage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then so Mario, okay, so you're right, Nate. Super Mario Maker sold 4 million copies on the Wii U. But that actually, out of that, maybe I guess Smash would have been the other one. That I bet you drove a lot of actually good hardware sales for the Wii U just because it was such a weird game.
Yeah, I think they had good. I think it saw some hardware spikes when it first launched. But I mean, for the Wii U, hardware spike was like 75,000, and an NPD to like 200,000.
Wow,
so,
big numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, it still sold 4 million on an install base of 13.5 million. So that's pretty good. I mean, Super Mario Maker 2 comes out on the Switch, and I feel like everybody's Wii U just goes in the closet then. Is there any reason to keep your Wii U hooked up at that point?
Xenoblade X. That's the Xenoblade X, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Those are the two games.
Okay,
Still
so
playing
The
that
Wonderful
thing.
101.
Wonderful
Everyone's
101.
favorite.
Yeah, Wonderful 101. Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to say, I don't think Xenoblade Chronicles X will be a good excuse for much longer either. But
yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about that too.
I guess Wonderful 101. I actually wanted Wonderful 101 to come over, but I don't hear anything about that now. The other one was weird was Pikmin 3. That would be a Wii U. I thought
that would be. Yeah, what about Pikmin 4? Yeah. Let's just move on. Let's do Pikmin 4.
I think they're trying to see what the interest is for Pikmin 4. Maybe they're like, here's Pikmin 3. If it sells really well again, well,
It didn't sell that well though on the Wii
well, that's
U.
what I'm saying. Now it
million.
can have a chance to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
now
I mean,
it'll sell
everything's
really
gonna-
good. Yeah, it'll sell really good on the Switch. Like if they
Wow.
release Pikmin 3 again, like it would sell really good on the Switch.
Wow,
Yeah, I mean, just because the install base, it's like you're gonna pretty much everything sells more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting to have Pikmin 3 though. Man, Pikmin 4 would have been apparently Pikmin. How long's Pikmin 4 been done? How long has this thing been done?
Well, nobody really knows.
No one knows.
No one knows if it was ever actually even done. I mean, Miyamoto just says stuff. I mean, at this point, I think it's safe to assume that Pikmin 4, if it was ever actually completed or started development, has been restructured and it's even moving in a new direction. And I think I would look at like, okay, so Pikmin 3, let's say it comes this year. It'll probably have all the DLC of the Wii U on. And Nintendo has used their Wii U ports kind of as a buffer to the next release.
Yeah,
that's
Bayonetta
true.
1 and 2, Bayonetta 3 comes. Then we have New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, kind of a buffer to, let's say, Mario Maker 2, because you're not going to do a Mario Maker 1 port, because then it just seems derivative to bother with a sequel. So now if you do a Pikmin 3, you're probably buying time until, let's say, Pikmin 4 for next year or even 2021. So, obviously, Pikmin 4 will probably happen. Otherwise, I don't see the reason to port over Pikmin 3.
I guess, yeah, if that's the case. It's just, it's another Wii U port, I guess. Although if you haven't,
about it.
I mean, it's another Wii. I mean, it's cool because it's Pikmin 3, and I bet you there's a lot of people who did not play that game, especially on the Switch. It'll get second life. I really wanted Tropical Freeze to come over, and that did, and I've kind of moved on from the Wii U after that. So Tropical Freeze needed a new audience to play that game because it's such a good game. But like, I don't think I need to play Pikmin 3 again.
If some of those games, if they could like actually bring the prices down, I think I would be more interested. But man, it's shelling out $60 for some of those games. I'm just like,
yeah. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe was.
Yeah, I had a video on that.
They left the U in there even. Like, dude, yeah. Wait, didn't you talk about that too, Nate? That should have been a whole discussion video for you, man.
What? How they're left the U and Deluxe?
No, just in general about that one, because you're talking about that too. You're like,
that's the next discussion video.
It's another $60 Wii U game.
I mean, yeah, it's another $60 Wii U game, but they sell.
They do sell. They do sell. How much do you think that's sold already? That's like, it's gonna be in its first month now, right? That's probably sold 3 million copies already. Something crazy.
Oh yeah,
that's insane. I saw a lot of people still playing it too, so people buying into it and everything. But I mean, honestly, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe wasn't even like, it was like an average game in the first place after playing the Wii version. So,
I mean, it's one of those things. It's Mario. Like you're gonna have so many just casual people seeing it on the shelves, like, oh, it's the new Mario game. They probably don't even know that it was on Wii U.
Although to be fair, if it was Mario Galaxy 2, I would have been all over that. So.
Yeah, Mario Galaxy. Well, they would have to make the game in HD, so that would be
an HD version. That would be sick.
Yeah,
it would be like, it would feel more new than New Super Mario Bros. Because the game was already in HD. I mean, it looks a little bit sharper, but I mean, the game was already in HD.
Over on the NVIDIA Shield TV in China, they have like the whole setup now to kind of upscale it and smooth out the textures and everything, and it looks actually really good.
I love the Galaxy games. I think they're amazing, and I would love an HD version of them. But I would love to see Sunshine in HD so much.
I really would like a complete remake.
Awesome.
A complete remake of Galaxy 1, and a remake of Galaxy 1 would be dope. And if they added in some other things, I'd be down for that.
Would you be opposed to a Galaxy 3?
No, yeah, Galaxy.
Totally.
Galaxy's my favorite Mario 3D Mario game. Like Galaxy's my favorite 3D Mario game. Like Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. So I'd be completely down because I mean, I don't like the Odyssey's great. I think Odyssey's really fun, but I just like the more guided Mario experience, like where you're just like blasting off from place to place and just like solving whatever puzzle or thing right there, and then you go to the next place. It's like speed
instead of just having these hub worlds.
I'm just not. All the people love the hub world Mario though, so I mean that's cool.
It's really funny because that's how I feel about the Zelda games. But OJ, you like Breath of the Wild more because of it's open ended. I like Odyssey more because it's open ended, but I like the closed off Zelda. It's really weird.
That's so weird. Yeah. Now that you brought that up, that is so weird, dude.
I like the closed off Zelda. That's why I was hoping when that 2D Zelda stuff was getting thrown around, that would be something like a Link to the Past style where it's top down and you kind of just go from place to place. Although that was kind of open ended too, because you could choose the order of the dungeons you wanted to beat it in since you just rented the stuff at first.
Interesting concept.
Great game though. If you haven't played Link Between Worlds, everyone should go play it. Great game.
Yeah.
Actually, it's on the 3DS, so I don't want you to hurt your eyes on it. Well, hopefully it'll come to the Switch. Okay, if it comes to the Switch, there you go.
At least it's not Xenoblade Chronicles on the 3DS.
Oh man.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, it's that's a game I actually would not mind them porting, to be honest, from the 3DS over to the Switch. It's Link Between Worlds. That was a good game. That was a really good game. Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you guys think that Retro's project will be there? Retro Studios.
At where the direct? If there's a direct?
Yeah, there's a direct.
I hope so. I think I'm gonna say yes. If I'm wrong, go well.
I mean, if it's not there and they've already moved on to Prime 4, it makes you wonder, like, what were they doing?
Yeah.
So I hope it's there. We supposedly think it's Star Fox, right? Because Eurogamer reported that last year or something.
Like Grand Prix or whatever.
Yeah, Star Fox Racing. I mean, we had the title and everything out there apparently. But what if that was like a red herring and it's something else completely? What if that was the canceled one and they had a whole other project ready to go?
Raven Blade. Let's do it.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, anything with Retro Studios, like I don't rule anything out now because it's like they've been dark for how many years now, and we just don't really know anything.
What if this whole time we were being conditioned to believe that it was a Star Fox game, and then they kind of started up and it's kind of dark and it's in space and it shoots back down to Earth and it's Eternal Darkness too.
Shut your mouth.
Close the front door and lock it.
Getting people Eternal Darkness 2 made by who?
I don't care. Just Retro Studios. I don't care.
Eternal Darkness Deluxe.
I'd be down for that.
I don't know if the world could even handle that.
That would be funny. Just
I wanted to see. So go ahead.
That would be funny. Just because it would be like, oh, Retro Studios, you can make whatever you want. You can make it violent, do whatever you want. And they're like, all right, yeah, let's do this.
I just want to see like the same like glitch stuff that it does in the original game, where it makes it look like everything's broken, and how people would react to that don't know about that. That'd be amazing. All the kids are like, Mom, my Switch broke. Oh, never mind.
That game scared the hell out. I remember one time I walked into a room and my head got cut off and it said, "Do you want your head back?" or something like that. I almost, dude. I swear, I turned off. I said, "I'm done." I turned off the game and I didn't play it for a year later, dude.
So your guy still didn't have a head for a whole year?
I didn't have a head for a whole. I got too scared, man. I got way. And then the bathtub part. That part scared me too when I played the game. That whole game is scary. But then I got better. Then you can get the whole thing to where you don't lose your sanity. So, but I did wait a whole year before I beat that game because I was just like, screw this game.
Oh, good. We hit 2,000 viewers without hitting 500 likes. So we're right on.
Achieving our goals. 2019.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. So I
hit that
actually,
like button.
What if instead of a Star Fox game, it was an F-Zero game instead, and they messed that up like Eurogamer did?
That'd be a good reveal. That'd be a pretty good reveal.
Like an F-Zero game, but it's not like the typical just racer. It's one where like Captain Falcon actually is out of his ship and stuff, and they actually like build up his character and everything. Something like that. You know?
Yeah, I actually mentioned something like that in passing because I just was like, when that rumor was going around, I'm like, they already have like a sci-fi racing series that they're doing nothing with.
Yeah.
So here's the trailer. Like it starts off and it's like, oh, it's Fox and he's racing. It's like, oh, cool, it's gonna be this game. Then he parks his car and he gets out and he's like, like just doing something. Then said, hey, you want to race? And then Captain Falcon walks up to him and then it just cuts to them racing. It says F-Zero, whatever subtitle, and it blows everyone away. That'd be amazing.
I would be F-Zero.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty. Like that's the thing. We've already been kind of confirmed and conditioned to believe that Star Fox and F-Zero are in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
So
it'd be perfect.
Lean into it. Why not?
They're putting Star Fox in anything these days. So just throw him in there too. It's fine.
Captain Falcon's really cool. Like he should be able to go around like sleeping dogs, but actually be a better game though. It should. So that's what I would want.
Oh man, that would be if they did something like that. That'd be cool, but it probably will end up just being Star Fox Racing because we're hyping it up.
I was just gonna say we're saying all this, and it's like, it's just gonna be Star Fox Racing.
Oh no, I was talking about like an F-Zero, like a completely separate F-Zero game.
So here's the way you can tell if we're onto something. By the way, if Nate is just quiet and isn't saying anything,
I don't. Are we right?
On the forums right now.
I really wouldn't be surprised if like Retro just hasn't done anything in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. It's like
they're just waiting.
It's. I mean, I look at it in a weird way of if I'm Nintendo and I'm looking at Retro and say, "Hey guys, what are you guys up to?" "Oh, we have these couple projects." "Okay, that game's terrible, canceled." Then, "Oh, we're making the Star Fox game." Like, no, this is terrible too, canceled. we're going to reward you with Metroid Prime 4 because you have proved you can't make a game in half a decade. So we're going to give you back the franchise you guys started with like 75% of the original staff no longer here. So to me, it's either that game was just a fake that somehow spread, or Star Fox is real and we will see it in the direct, or the game was real and no longer exists.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I was like, what if, because Retro Studios had a bunch of projects apparently canceled throughout the years, what if they're like a good studio, but not like this amazing studio, and they have all of their bad games canceled, and Nintendo literally just lets out any of the good ones. So they have like this stellar resume because Nintendo just lets out the good ones, they don't let them put out the bad ones. It's like, it makes you wonder, because they're different departments there, right? So they're all working on different stuff.
I mean, it's a weird situation. Like, logically, I would look at it and say Starlink had Fox in it because Nintendo is trying to get Star Fox interest back up. So you use Starlink as a marketing tool to lead into the Star Fox GP game. But at the same time, we haven't heard any new details about this Star Fox racing game since before E3 last year. And since then, it's been radio silence, which is weird that you had a flood of information for like 2 days, and then the faucet was just turned off suddenly, which makes me wonder, like, what exactly happened there?
Maybe they found where it was where people were leaking information, cut that off, and or maybe now the game's basically done, and they're like, just that's
my belief is that they were working on something. The game is done. That's why they've been given Metroid Prime 4, because now they're available after the original development team struggled with it. So they said, hey, your project is done. Here's Prime 4. We're going to release whatever it is you've been working on, Star Fox GP or something else, probably by late summer, early fall of 2019.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Hand applauds. You guys are going to stay open for the next 5 years.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm looking at this and all these games are talking about. It's like the back half of 2019 would become very, very crowded if that was the case with all these games. Like, we're talking about what? Animal Crossing, which we haven't even mentioned. That's like one of their biggest games this year they're going to release, technically, sales-wise. And then we just talked about Luigi's Mansion, Daemon X Machina, which we think that's actually probably coming out in May. That's what we're thinking at this point.
Pokemon,
yeah. A 2D Zelda game, apparently. Mario Maker 2, maybe this year. That's like...
maybe a Metroid Prime trilogy.
Yeah, like, we're talking about all these games. I'm like, I don't know where all these games are going to fit in now. I'm thinking about that. I'm like, they're going to have months of multiple first-party releases and then any third parties as well. It's going to get crowded.
Hey, people always complain that there's droughts. Now Nintendo's going to flood it, and people are going to be like, there's too many games, Nintendo. What are you doing?
I wonder if they could have like something like an Animal Crossing or something come a little bit earlier, maybe not like, necessarily like the holidays, and then kind of space it out that way.
Well, we saw that leaked release date for Luigi's Mansion 3, and they had that in July.
Yeah, and then they had Animal Crossing in September
13th, I think is what they had it at. Yeah.
I mean,
okay. I didn't see that.
And like as you and I kind of talked about in the video, we could see Animal Crossing, hitting in September, maybe even late August, because you kind of want that pre-holiday blitz for such a casual, family-friendly game, where you could sell, that easy 5 million copies in September, and then when you go into the holidays, you move another 5 million copies.
Yeah, and it'll get even more ridiculous if they introduce their little Switch Mini alongside the Pokemon games.
Yeah, I mean, those are, because you want Animal Crossing to have its own time before Pokemon, because they both kind of cater to that. It's kind of the same audience of kids, but at the same time, adults who want to walk around as an animal and cut down trees for Tom Nook.
Pokemon Crown and Scepter.
Animal Crossing is probably going to sell like 15-20 million on the Switch too. It's ridiculous. That's going to be something else, because now they have that phone game too that's kind of built up a whole other audience. They'll probably go out and buy it with the Switch. Yeah,
Christy Teigen really wants Animal Crossing on her Switch. Like, that's not a joke.
She'll probably be in the commercials for it.
I never knew how to say her last name.
Tegan?
Yeah, that's how you. Okay, yeah.
How did you say it?
Tegan.
I don't know how. I just didn't pronounce. I just said John Legend's Legend's wife. That's what I didn't know how to pronounce it.
DJ with LL Cool J on the lip syncing rap battle show.
Yes. Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be interesting with that direct. I mean, they got announced at Monday, we assume. Monday night, Monday afternoon.
Yeah, if it's the 13th.
Yeah, if it's you'd have to be
earliest Monday morning. Probably latest will be Monday at like 6 p.m. Eastern, because they have all their stuff scheduled. So hopefully people are up on Monday morning and they're like, "Yo, join us for about 30 minutes of what you can look forward to 2019." So
the people are definitely ready for it.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. It's been what was it? Mate? You were saying they were calculating the days, and it's been
like 150 plus days since the September Direct.
That's the longest apparently since like 2014 or something.
And that's the last general direct, or
yeah, these are just general. They don't include minis, nindies, game oriented ones. So
Smash
yeah, it's
Direct
definitely been a
doesn't
while.
do that. Yeah.
Maybe we'll finally get that Spyro announcement for the Switch. That'd be nice.
I wonder where that's going to be mentioned now.
I wonder where they're gonna put it. I don't know. I don't know nothing.
Hi, Zippo.
The chat's gonna be like, "What?" Inside SpawnCast jokes.
Oh man,
Jordan's gonna like cough up his soda over here.
Dude, I forgot you told me you were gonna say that.
Oh, yo, is anyone Platinum Hunter on the podcast
No.
for games? Anyone? I know Evan, you're a PC gamer mostly.
Does anybody like to waste their time? You should ask.
I've never really gone after a platinum trophy like on purpose. I know I've gotten a few just by accident because some of the games aren't super hard to get. Because one of the questions was from Johnny Rosado saying, "What's everyone's favorite platinum earned and why?"
Oh god, I don't know if I've ever earned a platinum.
Terminator Salvation, because the game was so bad, I felt proud of myself for beating it.
Dude, that was an easy game to earn the achievement points on, like on the 360. See, back then I was a 360 achievement person, so I just did that. And I'm still more of an achievement person than a trophy person now, but like I just never got into the achievement stuff after like the 360 PS3 days. I was kind of fell out of it after that.
Yeah, I remember all the like people listing like, oh, the easiest games get achievements, and they had the like Avatar game. You could get like all 1,000 in like 10 minutes and stuff like that.
Just trap in a corner, and then you just hit with combos all day, and then you get the achievement. It's so easy.
I am gonna probably try to get. I have it on what is it called? The Xbox One, Resident Evil 2. I might try to get all the achievements in that because man, I love that game.
I think my favorite one is probably Bayonetta 1. I was really happy when I got all the achievements. Bayonetta 1 and Vanquish. Like when I got at the time that I got all of Vanquish's achievements, like there was barely anybody who beat the challenge mode. There was only like 20 something or 30 people that had beat the challenge mode at that time. So I was really proud of like those two would be Bayonetta 1 and Vanquish.
Yeah, I have a bunch of 1,000-point games on the Xbox. That's where I was playing mostly before the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Back 360 days, it was all 360 and a little bit of PS3.
Yeah,
same
it's so
here
weird
for
how
that.
that's shifted for like everybody. Just like die hard Xbox 360, and then it's like, no, PS4.
No, I had a big goal on my on the 360. Like I was always getting like games and wanting to play. I always wanted to get over 100,000 gamer score back then. I think I ended at like 121,000 a gamer score, something around there by the end of the 360.
I think I'm only like a few away from the platinum in Spider-Man because I was liking that game so much. But like hunting down pigeons and stuff, I wasn't that interested in that. I was like, oh man, like it's the problem with some of them. I just end up feeling a grind with it. But like some of the games on the 360 back then, like Halo, I got all the achievements in Halo because I just played that all day.
Spider-Man's a good one because it's just like so fun to just swing around. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, might as well just do this stuff because I'm just goofing off anyway.
Yeah, Evan, what were some of the Discord questions?
All right, we got one from Ziljane65. What, in your opinion, is the most anti-consumer game of 2018 and early 2019?
Anthem.
Is it?
Anti-consumer game?
Anti-consumer.
He
I do love
suggests
those-
Black Ops 4, I'm guessing because of the whole Crosshair fiasco thing.
I mean, that's a good one. The problem with Black Ops 4 is they introduced... so they put the game out. They had everyone review it. Like they sent everybody codes and everything. And then like a month and a half later, and I actually said this, I remember when I was talking about the game, I was like, they're just going to put Cash Shop in like after everyone reviews it. And they did exactly that. I'm like, that's the biggest problem with these live services. They'll do that. They'll bait and switch you on it. And they did. So yeah, I guess you could make the case that is one of the worst cases of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't play Call of Duty anymore, so but yeah, that definitely could be one of the ones there. You know,
I still think it's Anthem.
You think it's Anthem? Why? Because the $20 skins?
Yeah, it's everything the EA is going to do to it it just has me as anti-consumer, and that's I'm not even going to blame and usually how I attack BioWare just because I'm still salty, but it's all EA. And
I do love those EA charts for the releases where it's like, oh, figure out when you get to play, peasant.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I love them. They're
Yeah,
great.
yeah, we need a chart to figure out like when you can play. That's not good.
Now, if you pay more money, you could play it this day. But if you pay a little bit less money, you could play it this day. But if you do this, you can play it 2 days before that day.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want? What can I play it?
If you just pay $30, you can wait 6 months and get it for free with EA access.
Well, there you go.
Did you pay $100 for the collector's edition? You get to play it the final day, just like all the other plebs.
I know, you bet the most expensive edition, and it's like, nah, you didn't give us enough money. It's like I gave you the most money.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, it's we're gonna see. We're gonna see what the most anti-consumer thing would probably be. You might be right, Joe. It might be Anthem. I don't know. It's very possible.
That's just how I'm feeling. But
Have you guys all played like the demo or whatever of Anthem?
I skipped it completely.
Oh no, one of my only platinums might be in Quiet Man. Oh no, the Quiet Man. Oh man. Oh, that's not good.
I have Spyro Platinums, all 3.
That's not good.
I platinum Infamous. That was fun.
The
original Infamous games, they're fun. I regret platinuming Prototype. That wasn't fun.
Why don't I have my PS3 games on here? Let me see.
This is the ASMR part of the podcast.
No, okay, no, I know why. I need to look that up. You can look it up online, I think. Back to the PS3, I had another account, and I remember that one get banned. I can't remember why.
Did you hack your PS3?
Someone in the chat.
I have all PS4 games on here, and I'm like, where are my PS3 games? Because I know I had, I did have a platinum on the Vita. I know I had one on there because I played the Vita a lot.
I think I platinum sound shapes on everything because you just had to platinum it on one, and then it would carry over to like the PS3 and the PS4 version.
No, I played Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita. I actually liked that. That was a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But on the Vita, I mean, think about it. I was playing the Vita, dude. There was only so much I could play.
I think I have like 6 games on the Vita, like Borderlands 2, Unit 13, Uncharted, Little Big Planet.
Oh yeah, Unit 13.
Oh,
that was the first. I was like, "Hey, look, it's a shooter on the go." It was just like, here, drop in, drop out.
I remember talking to people about that, and we were like, "This is the SOCOM of shooters on the Vita." And I'm like, now I'm like, "Oh man, I can't believe
I had the most fun with the Resistance game on the Vita, honestly.
I platinumed that because all you had to do was beat it.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yep.
It's just no reason to ever play the game again because it was like.
What was oh man, that's gonna bother me. What was the game on the Vita? I have to look it up because I kept getting mixed up with another game where it's an action RPG style, and you have a number on your wrist that counts down as you complete things.
Oh,
what's that game called? I like that game a lot. I can't remember what it was called.
It's an Xseed game.
Yeah, it's Time
Half-Minute Hero,
right?
Oh no, was that the one where you hunt the giant things around the town? I remember you talking
Freedom
about
Hunter?
Freedom. It might be Freedom Hunter. Yeah, I remember I used to talk about that all the time back in the day at the store. I was because it had online as well, and I remember we would play against, because it used to be like US against Japan at all times, and Japan would just destroy us every time.
Everyone's saying Freedom Wars in the chat.
Thank you.
Freedom Wars. Freedom Hunter. What the hell am I talking about, dude?
The reason I couldn't remember is because I would always get it mixed up with Freedom Force from back in the day. Yeah, Freedom Wars. That was it. I think that was one of my favorite games on the Vita, next to Uncharted and not Call of Duty, because Call of Duty was very bad on it. But yes, that was a big 360 person back then. Where am I? Max would have been good because he's a bigger PlayStation guy than he is Xbox person.
Are we still talking about like the platinums, right?
Yeah.
I platinum a lot. Like Resident Evil 5. That's probably like that's my favorite platinum would probably be Resident Evil 5. And I played that all on the PS3. I would play online on the PS3 with that. So yeah, I played that a lot.
Dude, I loved Resident Evil 5 co-op. That was my favorite.
It was great.
Yeah, that was a great co-op game.
It was really because the AI is brain dead. So if you play on the harder difficulties, good luck with that AI. It's impossible to beat on the hardest difficulty with that AI. The AI is an idiot. So
yeah,
dude, I remember everyone. Like, I get it. People could talk crap on the game. It's not a good Resident Evil game.
Exactly.
But I had so much fun playing that game. It's so much fun, especially when you get to punch the boulder, dude. That's the best part.
Yeah, it's like my cousin and I are both really big Resident Evil fans. And yeah, it's like not classic Resident Evil, but it was cool to have an experience like that we could actually play together.
Yeah. When are they going to bring Shiva back?
Yeah, they need to bring her back. She's a cool character.
Yeah.
And Chris needs to punch more boulders. I think that's the type of stuff that I like in like that game. Punching that boulder was actually really cool.
That whole final boss fight, I actually enjoyed. I thought it was
The boss
so
fight
over
sucks.
the top. It's so over the
fight
top.
Sucks, but punching the boulder
It's
is cool.
so over the top. Great. How
Like
how
you're
can
just
you
like
say
running
it's
around
not?
like it's like ring around the rosy.
That's the fun part. It's so stupid. It's great.
It's so dumb. So let me try to shoot him in the back. I can't move and shoot at the same time. I gotta shoot him in the back.
Gotta run over here. Stop.
Yeah, run over here. Stop. Shoot him. Okay, he's turning around. Shoot him in the back. Okay, I got him.
Oh man,
It's horrible.
Great game.
let's Evan, you want to hit some Discord questions before I go through the rest of these super chats?
With the report in The Verge that Xbox Live gaming services are in development for Switch, what does everyone think of the possibility for Game Pass and Scarlet Cloud Gaming to also come to the Switch?
That's not what the report said.
There we go.
Well,
I
there's
mean-
that.
Why did people read these stories? No, they didn't. It said they are making live features compatible for other devices. So, like Minecraft on Switch, you can log into your Xbox Live account and you can earn achievements for Minecraft Switch, and it goes to your Xbox Live account. That's what that report was
Yeah,
talking
that's how
about.
I understood it.
I don't know why people broke it down. I'm like, oh my God, guys, Xbox Live is coming to Switch as a service. And now I can have voice chat and my friends list and all this stuff is going to be on Switch. That's not what it said.
But don't you understand? That's more exciting.
Yes, and that was the problem. People read it and they're like, let's
Exactly,
hype this up to be something else. Now, does this mean Game Pass or these other things cannot happen? No, but it isn't what that story was talking about. You can speculate about all those other things. That's fine. But like, we don't need this misinformation being spread because people couldn't read what Microsoft actually described in their summary.
Always gonna
What do you think?
spread.
What do you think the odds are of it coming then? That's what they were asking. What do you think the odds of it coming over to the Switch are?
0.2%.
I mean, Microsoft and Nintendo have been they've worked well together with the whole cross-platform play with games. So, I mean, if Microsoft probably can present them with a good deal to bring their service and Nintendo can benefit from it, I guess there is a chance it can happen. But, I mean, I just wouldn't lean on that original report to be an indicator of that being a negotiation taking place.
The
Right now.
original report detailed being able to use Xbox Live across platform like the Minecraft uses it basically. Achievements and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just saying, so other games can come to phones and stuff that would have achievements or have access to your Xbox Live friends list and stuff. So if you played, technically it could be open to any company. So if like Namco brought, I don't know, some random ass game to your phone, you could have Xbox Live achievements on it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I think
that's all that report was.
Yeah, I think it's definitely clear that like Microsoft is trying to move more towards the service angle than like the console stuff, with Game Pass and, they're going for the cloud gaming stuff and all that. But I don't know if that necessarily means we'll see it on Nintendo Switch and like that stuff on Nintendo Switch anytime soon.
I mean, it's definitely, there's obviously the possibility because it's being, offered as a service. If it's like a service like a Hulu thing and it makes sense for Nintendo and they can negotiate a good deal and it's profitable for them in some way and there's a benefit to them.
Oh, yeah.
Then I could see Game Pass and those type of features happening. It's just like, I'm not going to speculate on that just due to this GDC presentation listing.
How would that benefit Nintendo though?
I mean, software-wise, it wouldn't benefit them, except that they could potentially have games that couldn't come to their system due to the hardware discrepancies, where you could, like Hellblade. You can't have Hellblade 1 because now it would be Microsoft owned, and it wouldn't be able to run on the Switch probably in any decent fashion. So now, I can play Hellblade on my Switch due to Game Pass. But at the same time, now if I'm a third-party company, I'll use like Capcom, and let's just say we have Resident Evil 7 on Game Pass. Why am I going to port it to Switch if that service is there to already fill that need? It that's where there's a minor like conundrum. But at the same time, if I'm Microsoft, it would benefit Microsoft in a great way because I'm selling my service now on a 35 million platform. So I'm going to have more customers, and those who already have an Xbox and now may buy a Switch because they want to play those Game Pass games on the go. It benefits them. But that's where Nintendo would have to come up with a deal where they're getting something for allowing the service on their device.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd have to like get a cut, like a piece of it, like of the people who are subscribed on the Switch or something like that.
It's gonna be interesting. What's the next? You said we had a bunch of Discord questions that we probably got to go through. So,
Yeah. Are you subscribed to PewDiePie? If not, why? And when are you going to be changing that?
No, I'm subscribed.
Yeah, of course.
We're all doing our part.
Jeez.
Go ahead. What's the next one?
Do any of you play Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder? And what class do you play?
I do not play Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder.
Yeah, that's a negative for me as well.
I mean, historically speaking, I played a monk, but that was forever ago. Let's see. Anyone have PO boxes?
I do not.
Yeah, I don't want anybody sending me anything.
I have one, but I don't talk about it too much anymore. But I have one.
I should get one mostly because companies want to send me stuff, but I do not have one yet. But I should have one anyway, just for the companies that keep wanting my address, like Activision and Microsoft and all of them.
All right, this one's a Shy Guy question from Zeljane, who's apparently from your Discord server.
Oh, no.
What do you think will change the most about the gaming landscape on YouTube in 2019?
Change the most about the gaming landscape? I think you're going to continue. I don't know if it necessarily is a change. I think it's a growing trend, but it's going to be, the people like, Spawnwave, like these news channels and stuff that are more smaller, like the indie type thing, taking over the IGNs, GameSpots and stuff that are trying to keep their foothold like in YouTube and stuff like that, because that's where all the gaming talk and stuff is really going. The websites and stuff are dying a death, but I think these companies are going to keep digging their own graves, and you're going to continue to see the smaller people just eat their lunch.
Yeah, I see it a lot with Yongye and Kotaku. They seem to go back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah.
I personally think there's room for everybody. So I think there's room for IGN to be IGN. There's room for John to be John. There's room for smaller 50, 60,000, 70, whatever the case is. There's room for everybody. There's enough people out there, just sheer number of people that are on YouTube. There's room for everybody to do what they need to do and accomplish what they want to accomplish, as long as they put the work in.
Yeah, I would agree with OJ. I think the only big change that's going to come to YouTube is that if it wants to be taken as a serious platform for news, reviews, and such, that there's going to be accountability for various channels. You're not just going to be able to come out here and be Alex Jones of your, various types of medium. You can't just spit bullshit. If you want to be taken seriously, there's going to be accountability. And right now, YouTube just doesn't have that because it's still kind of viewed as an entertainment platform. But if you really want to compete against Kotaku and the IGNs, you're going to have to take responsibility. You're going to have to vet information. You're going to have to do proper research.
I think that boils down to the individuals.
That's where YouTube has to, as a platform, is going to grow. The individuals who are just going to spew out nonsense are just going to fade away.
Yeah, like to go more like of what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying there's necessarily not room for it, but I think the more we see, like I did my video on what was it called? The Anthem stuff when it was coming out. And one of the things I'm poking fun at in it is, you got GameSpot over here making advertisements for Anthem with IGN and stuff like that. And I think people are just taking them less and less seriously. Like you said, like people got to, be, professional and stuff like that. And I think people are taking these bigger outlets less and less seriously.
But well, I mean, didn't YouTube, they sponsored a lot of the streamers to market Apex Legends.
Oh, there's a Twitch and all that. They've been paying, I think, for the past week. Most of the big
and the problem is that some of these streamers don't come out and say, we're being paid, this is an ad, we were treated. And I know people like to, spit at IGN and GameSpot for similar things, but the difference is that GameSpot and IGN have marketing departments that handle these contract deals, and it doesn't influence the editorial side. Whereas YouTube, it can be just an individual who gets those emails, makes the deals, then makes that video. And if they don't do the proper thing of actually disclose what has happened, you get into that iffy ethnic, you get into a very, ethical dilemma. And I think that's what's going to have to change with YouTube. Is that it's going to have to be clear of what's actually happening, why this coverage is going on and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's. I assume it's just going to keep evolving the platform, and you're basically saying survival of the fittest for some of that. So just kind of fade away, but we'll see. It's always interesting to see what happens going forward. So what's the other Discord question, Evan? While we go through here, then I go through some of these super chats.
If you had to choose a publisher or dev to take the Star Wars license, who would you choose?
Oh man, that's the problem. There's no one company outside of maybe Ubisoft, and I don't even know if I want them to have it.
Yeah, it's choosing the best out of the evils, and who's going to do what with what.
Yeah.
So I think out of like the main big evils, Ubisoft would probably handle it the best, but still, it's always going to be problems.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to deal with a bunch of different developers. It'd be easier if they split them all up and found them, but
And we had some new news this week as maybe working on a documentary about Star Wars related things that, of course, as I'm working on it and I'm talking about, okay, this contract's maybe going to be up and Disney is not super, they're probably not super happy with everything. Nope, they're fine. They love EA. They're doing great.
they're fine.
So great.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
It's all good.
It's all fine. They just only made 2 games and 1 mobile game. They're doing so much for us.
They're fine with it. Man, I really want a good Star Wars game too, like Battlefront.
I hope this year's is great. I hope Jedi Fallen Order is something special.
I actually, after seeing Apex Legends and everything and Respawn, and they had the right idea to launch that without having EA help them with it, like to market it, because they knew probably would have happened where EA would have messed it up. I think Respawn's going to put out a good Star Wars game in Fallen Order. So
I really hope so.
Yeah, plus I think one of the things it has going for it is, like you just said, it's like the stuff that has come out recently that you'd be comparing it to. I don't even think it has to be the greatest game. Like just a decent single player something like would totally satisfy a lot of people, I think.
Honestly, it could be the equivalent of Force Unleashed 2, and I'd be happy at this.
Last week I found myself playing Jedi Outcast on the GameCube. That's where I was. That was the point I felt. I was like, I'm playing a game from like the early 2000s because it's better than anything else out right now. Jedi Academy is on Xbox. It's on Game Pass, I believe now. Academy, yeah, and that's better too. Like
trying to meet that Game Pass plug quota.
I know, right? Dude, I'm telling you, that's the best Star Wars game on there with Jedi Academy. Go play that. That's better than anything that EA's putting out right now. I mean, back in like between the year 2000 and like 2010, there were so many Star Wars games released. It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So many. Rogue Squadron, that was great with Factor 5. That's gone now.
Just the first half of the like early like 2000s, it's like nonstop.
Yeah,
so
Knights
many
of the
games.
Republic. Knights of the Republic was killer, man. Even some people didn't like what was it, Force Unleashed. I actually was alright with those. Your lightsaber is basically a wiffle bat, but it's still fun.
Force Unleashed was not great, but I can see why some people had fun with it.
I mean, looking back on it now, like if EA put that out now, we'd be like, yes, this is great.
Honestly,
I mean, KOTOR to me was the GOAT of Star Wars.
KOTOR was awesome. Yeah.
KOTOR was so good.
What they've described about the Fallen Order, it's a game that takes place between episode 3 and 4, and you're basically a Jedi's basically escaped the extermination. So
is it first? You said it's Respawn. Is it first person?
We don't know yet. We don't know anything else really about it that I've seen. But here's the thing: they're going to reveal it ahead of E3.
I really hope it's not first person. I'm really hoping it's not. Because he said you're a Jedi, right?
it's third person.
It's third person.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing in the reports. It's a third person game that plays really well.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's what I like to hear.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that information.
I'm excited. They should just start licensing it out, man. Give CD Projekt Red a decade to make a game.
Quick.
Let Rockstar take a shot at it, man. They could do some cool stuff with
Oh
that.
god, that'd be weird.
I mean,
it'd be cool. It'd be interesting. It'd be weird though. You have the Red Dead Redemption play style.
I'm not trying to press the A button or whatever, and like he swings a lightsaber like 3 seconds later.
I'm just trying stuff here, man. I'm just throwing
you
stuff
have to
around.
clean your lightsaber.
Change the battery.
You have to meditate.
Let me go through a few of these here. Katana Riku says, "You guys are all awesome." Also, what's up, Shy Guy?
What is up?
John Plays says, "My stream viewers dropped right at 9 p.m. Thanks. You're welcome." My stream viewers now. That's what you say to me. No, it's cool, Austin. Yeah, Austin John, of course, good friend of the channel. As a very large channel with all the cool strategies and stuff in Zelda. Very good with Pokemon. So once Pokemon Gen 8 comes out, you're going to want to follow him because he's going to get you with some really good strategies and how to do all kinds of stuff there. So
he's the Pokemon guy.
yes,
Nice.
you want to check him out when Gen 8 comes out.
As soon as the game launches, it's gonna be like how to get 50 Master Balls in 1 second. You know, it's gonna be something like that. It's just have a Master Ball. Like somehow he does these crazy things. Yeah, great channel.
Mr. Pete says, forget King Zell, just ask OJ's mom.
Yeah, well, because my mom said that Mario 2 was coming to the Switch back in September. She's like, Mario 2 is coming to the Switch. So that's what they're saying. Like,
she was right.
She was right. So I was like, my mom works at Nintendo, so she knew. So there you go. That's that.
Ja Ranimo says Mario Maker 2 has got to be a lock. They're the last dedicated Wii U people that haven't fully retired it yet. Yeah, that's what Bob does. That's the only reason Bob hooks it up. Dude, if that game comes out this year, that's all Bob's going to play. He's not going to play any other game. It's just going to be like constant streams of Mario Maker 2 for the Wolf Den. So yeah, that's the only reason he keeps his Wii U hooked up, he said. So yeah, I can see that. Dr. Disrespect gets G. Oh, this is from Overthink Gaming. Dr. Disrespect gets G Fuel waiting on Spawn Fuel. And G Fuel knows where I am.
What would your flavor be?
Grape blueberry. Grape blueberry.
Nice.
This next one is message deleted with, I don't know what that is.
Oh, there was a certain comment that had to be censored out, I believe.
Okay, fair enough.
Naughty boys.
Brian says, "What do you think Pikmin 4 needs to sell well?" Oh, what mechanic would you guys think that Pikmin 4? What do you think it needs to be even different to sell well? Is there anything we can add to the Pikmin series? I guess
Get rid of time limits. Make controls a little more simplistic, and
you would have the gamepad this time, though.
Yeah,
maybe they would make it more simplistic.
it just probably needs to be more casual friendly. It looks kind of intimidating if you aren't really sure what's going on in the game, where you're controlling this little army of flower monsters.
There's a lot of stuff going on the screen at once. If you just walked in and somebody's playing,
that is true. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. Yeah, so it can be overwhelming, I guess is the word for it.
I feel like if they added whatever they needed to make it the Dark Souls of type game, it'll
Whoa.
Dark Souls.
James Kelly says Metroid Prime Trilogy Switch can't happen until Shy Guy beats Reggie.
What?
You have to beat Reggie.
Beat Reggie
In what?
And,
Life.
in a fisticuff fights on the playground after school.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I think he could take. He's a big dude.
He's a big guy.
He just left it on that. Yeah, he just left it on that cliffhanger ending. Yeah, just beats Reggie.
Well, we'll get the rest of the answer next week.
Tesla Volta Game says Zelda HD remakes, Skyward Sword, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and Virtual Console games is why I still have my Wii U. Zelda remakes need to be ported.
The remasters?
Yeah, I guess like Wind Waker, I guess, again.
I've already played this. That'd be the third release, man. I mean, like, there's other stuff that they can do.
Like Skyward Sword, I guess, could be better if they moved it to the Switch and changed the control scheme up completely.
Skyward Sword, there's only been one release of that game, though. I mean,
that'd be like they would have to alter that game heavily to make that work.
Yeah, that's true.
Wind Waker again, yeah, I don't know. I think Wind Waker's had enough.
See, that's like another one I could get more behind, but it's like if they would like reduce the price, like if they did a like Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD together for like 60, I would probably be more into that. But it's like the way they've been doing a lot of those re-releases, I don't know if I want to like pay like full price or anything for them.
A GameCube section, digital only on the eShop, and it's $20 for the titles. And there's Wind Waker there's Mario Sunshine, all that stuff, and just do it that way.
I'm in.
Yeah,
digital only. Just put them.
We wouldn't get the HD versions of them though, like Wind Waker.
Clean them up, visually and everything.
Mario Sunshine needs more help than just a visual cleanup.
Nate does not like Mario Sunshine.
It's not fun.
Mario Sunshine. That was a fun game of the game.
No, it wasn't a fun game.
Just factual. It just wasn't fun, guys. Get
Your
over it.
opinion on the game is not true. It's incorrect, John.
Yes, it is incorrect. It was not fun. Go back to it. Andre from Game Explain will come in here and we will debate you and we will win.
What did you like about it?
It's not good.
Okay.
The levels aren't good. The controls are
Is it the
bad.
camera
The
you don't
camera's
like?
bad.
Yeah.
The stages where people are like, yeah, this is like Mario 64 platform. Yeah, but those stages weren't even good. There's just nothing really about the game that was redeeming. The best thing was the water effects and the mirror. The mirror is like visually mind-blowing to this day, but otherwise, Sunshine is just the worst 3D Mario game out there.
Could you tell us how you really feel? Not
Mario
sugarcoat it.
Sunshine ruined my summer.
That's a video title. That's it.
Dang.
I would watch that video.
I was excited for Sunshine. It came out the day I went back to school. I got out of school. I bought the game. I came home. I said, no, this game's not good. And I was upset for the rest of the school year.
Does it upset you that it has a 92 on Metacritic?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but
Grand Theft Auto 4 has like a 99 on Metacritic.
Yeah,
and Grand Theft Auto 4 is a piece of shit.
Grand Theft Auto 4 is one of the worst. It is a horrible game, and it was
it does not control very well.
It's a horrible. Grand Theft
None
Auto
of the roster games control well, though, and all of a sudden
true.
everyone recognizes it now with Red Dead Redemption 2 for some reason now. I don't understand why.
That game is so garbage. Grand Theft Auto 4 is such a horrible game. I don't care what anyone. That one, I don't. The other ones, whatever. But that game in particular is really bad. Out of the Grand Theft Autos, that one's really bad.
I've actually thought of making like a YouTube skit of where we would just say like a random game, be like, oh, let's guess the Metacritic of Grand Theft Auto 4, and people come in like, oh, it has to be like a 5, and you look at it, oh, it's a 98. People, and then you just react to like some of these scores, or you think a game was like, oh, it had to be received well, and you look at it and be like, oh no, that's like a 2.
That'd be a good live like game show.
Just take a microphone, go out on the street, see how many people give you a legit answer to it. Like people do the politics things where they go out and ask questions. Go do that, Nate. Go ask them what's the Metacritic score for Grand Theft Auto 4?
People be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Nate on the street.
I'd have to stand for like GameStop. Like, hey,
dude, I would watch that. I would.
Yeah, that would be funny.
But he has to wear his Kratos, mask.
Oh man,
what is the Metacritic score of my first game? Who the hell are you?
Get away from me.
Jesse says, think we get a Mario Golf this generation.
Mario Golf?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah,
we need Mario Strikers first.
Yes, I was just gonna say, I'm like Strikers or just get out of my face.
You can leave Golf left.
Get Strikers.
Bring Strikers up, but not the terrible Wii U one, the good GameCube one.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely my vote for the next Mario sports game.
Absolutely. K19 says
Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Like, need to bring that back. Sorry, just wanted to say that.
K19 says, imagine the main guy from Starlink in the Star Fox Grand Prix. Do it, Nintendo. What was the main guy's name in Starlink? Nobody look at your manual.
Mason.
Oh my god.
Mason something, right? Mason.
Isn't it Fox?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
It's Mason something.
Mason something. That my point is they were a very forgettable cast.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Nathan Whitemore or something?
Well, that's the most boring name I've ever heard.
It was not.
Here's our protagonist. What's his name? Mason Whitemore.
Come on. I mean, it's not as bad as that name of that game loft shooter coming to Switch next week. It's like Bang Bang McShooty Grenade Boom.
Modern Combat Blackout, dude.
Yeah.
It's like they stole a bunch of Call of Duty names and stuck them all together.
I remember when that game came out. It was an older one, but I first got my it was a decent phone. It might have been a Galaxy phone, and I was like, let me try this thing out. It was not great, but it was with touch controls. So now I'm like, I wonder if this game's actually going to be anything decent on the Switch. Probably not.
There's online multiplayer.
Dude, look at the screenshots. Just look at them.
It's online multiplayer.
It looks
Modern Combat. I can't wait, dude.
It might be Ark with guns.
I
Wait,
can't wait.
there's no guns in Ark? You can't shoot you can't shoot the dinosaurs?
As far as I know, my guy was holding a potato. All right.
No, there's guns in Ark. There's guns.
I mean, the resolution wasn't high enough for me to be able to tell.
Yeah,
Could have been anything.
yeah, that Wolfenstein gun on the PC, the original Wolfenstein, it looked like that.
Hey, you got to do that comparison, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I can't justify buying Ark. I don't want to give them.
I'll mail it to you. You can have it. That's your problem now. Yeah.
No, I hope the package gets lost.
I hope Ark doesn't get lost in the mail. That'd be the worst thing ever. Oh no.
History lost to the dump.
Put some serious insurance on that. I hate for the postal worker to try to make off with that. You know,
Yeah, definitely gonna steal that game.
Jordan says, "Where is RGT? I miss him. He's probably passed out in his bed
I
upstairs."
didn't say that. I don't miss that buffoon. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't miss his DiGiorno pizza eating video?
No, because I'm hungry and that'll make me more hungry.
You might be watching now, man. He said he was just gonna, because we unhooked all of his stuff. We pulled like the cables out of the wall for his internet, so he's not.
Oh wow.
He's not getting online. He's on his phone playing his Switch, probably in bed right now. He didn't have anything, so he might be watching right now for all we know on his phone. He could be. Dead World says thoughts on 7DS versus 73 Switch games coming soon. I think you're talking about the 3DS. Thoughts on 7? Is that supposed to be 7 3DS games versus 73 Switch games coming soon?
There's 7 3DS games coming?
I can only count like 2.
Yeah, I could count Kirby, Epic Yarn, and Persona Q2, and that's not till like June.
Are there any other third-party games too?
Probably like Lego Movie 2, the game, coming to that. I can't think of anything.
I mean, if
else.
that's talking about the 3DS dying, I mean, it's basically it's on its way out. It didn't even meet us expectations for the last, like, they had to lower that even.
There hasn't been really any game. I mean, there's just been Atlas made a couple, Nintendo's made a few ports of like or whatever.
Did Luigi's Mansion already come out yet?
Yeah, it's already out.
Yeah, it came out like during like holidays.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like
see how much I pay attention to the 3DS anymore.
Nobody's even really making games for it. Like no third, like Japanese developers have stopped. The only person is like Atlas. That's it. Like in terms of third party Japanese developers, like just Atlas. They put out their games, and I think Persona Q2 is going to be the last one. The Persona Q2 doesn't even have like an English dub, dude. The first game did.
Yeah, this is kind of just like a cheap release.
They just said no dub, just Japanese subs only. Like it's like they didn't even care.
Man. Yeah, so I guess that's just it's on its way out. They're gonna have to replace it with a Switch Mini or something. Basically it. Yes, MSG says I recently subscribed to GameFly. Is it good?
Gamefly still a thing?
Yeah,
I get it. When I first started, that was a long time ago. When I signed up way back in the day, it wasn't bad when I signed up back then. But then after a while, because they recycled the games so much, I was getting scratched games. So.
Oh
Isn't
yeah,
it,
I can
like,
see that being a problem.
Super expensive. It's like way too much.
Nowadays,
I
yeah.
think it's $15 for 2 games out.
Yeah. Now it's too much because you got Game Pass. So.
Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass cheap.
Game Pass is
There
there.
it goes again.
Yeah, I know, right?
If you want even something cheaper, once in a while, Redbox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Redbox.
Redbox, yeah, it's actually a better idea because you could just return it right away if you didn't like it. Whereas I remember it would take like 2 or 3 days for me to get a game at a time. And that felt like I was without a game half the time throughout the month. So like there were basically 10 days I didn't have it, and then the other 20 I did.
Oh yeah, because it's like you'd have to send it back, and then they'd have to get it before they even send you the next
Yeah.
one. So yeah.
There would be like a lot of downtime sometimes.
Yeah,
It's like Netflix back in the day. I don't even remember those days anymore. We had to wait for the DVDs to come in.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I think in today's day, I mean, it's like I guess since we all kind of work in games and stuff, it's like you don't have as much time to just be sitting there going through a bunch of different, like getting them in the mail. So you just kind of get what you want, like just play what you want or just do games, do something digital. There's all sorts of digital stores and stuff that you can just get instant. You just download it right then and there. So why even do like a game?
All you youngins with your Game Pass. I had to go to Blockbuster on Friday. And the game I still wanted was there by the time I got there. Then it wasn't. I had to settle for something I didn't really
Chameleon
want.
Twist 1 and 2 every weekend.
Dude, I remember when a
Yeah.
Blockbuster actually opened in my town. That was around before Blockbuster.
Dude, I remember going to like Funko Land and being able to like try the games. It's so great.
I was doing the Super Nintendo back in the day. I remember that.
I would literally go there to return my game. Like, because I knew I wanted the same games to play it more. I would put it in the return slot, walk right in and say, hey, can I check out that game I just returned? I literally do that every weekend. So all my save files were never touched.
Dude, you had to. You had to be careful. You had to hide those things so they go in and like they put them in and they'd be like, "Can you check that in?" So I go hide it behind like was it Mario's Missing? No one
Mario.
Why is Jordan acting like he's old? Like what? Wait, hold up.
What do you mean? I grew up with
back
a
in the day.
Blockbuster.
Dude, what are you talking about here?
I grew up with a Blockbuster too.
Bro, stop it. Stop
Come
it,
on.
Soul.
Back in the day, I had to hide the copies.
back in the day, I graduated high school like a few years
Dude, back in the
ago.
day, I still had flip phones. No, I'm just kidding.
Early 20s. Back in the day, what?
Come on.
2010? Stop
Hey,
it.
Oh my god.
Back in the day, I had a pager. I had to find a payphone.
Oh God.
I would call 1-800 collect and just yell and be like, "I'm gonna be home late."
Yeah, I actually remember it was not like probably like 2 years or so ago because I'm in Chicago and it's like my cell phone died and I'm like, oh, I gotta find a payphone. They like don't exist anymore.
I get no respect on this damn podcast anymore.
Evan, you want to hit
Zippo
another
likes you.
question before we go into the Activision talk and we finish up?
Yeah, we got just the one. What Nintendo game besides Smash and Splatoon would be best for an esport? I'm guessing he's talking about Nintendo first party ones, so my vote for Windjammers doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Other than Smash or Splatoon?
Yeah, because then I guess he didn't list ARMS, and that was the only other one doing it.
That was
Right.
one. Yeah, that was an easy one.
I guess
Mario
upcoming would
Tennis
just be
Aces.
like, yeah, Mario Tennis Aces.
Mario Tennis would work. Yeah, let's do Mario Kart, man. Let's roll with that.
I'd want to see user created levels in Mario Maker like they had at the Nintendo World Championship, where they had to compete like those 4 stages head to head.
Mhm.
Make that like an esport where you're doing like crazy
That would
2D
be cool.
platforming. The
Competitive
Mario
Mario.
Land on the Game Boy had that mode where you raced against each other.
Oh yeah, you're right. It did.
So like let's make Mario an esport. 2D
Yeah.
platforming challenge.
I'm down.
It'd be sick. It's kind of like what like the speedrunners do, right? Where they like play the games next like same time and they're like race it go.
Yeah, or like competitive Tetris. Did anyone watch that tournament? That
I
shit was
did.
crazy.
It was crazy.
No, I didn't watch that. What is it? Just the blocks just dropping like completely the whole time?
Yeah, basically. And like, but these guys plan out their moves so far in advance that when they mess up, they just kind of like quit. They're like, whatever, I have to restart my whole board. And it was some intense stuff. It made me feel bad about how awful I am at Tetris.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I wonder, man, I beat Dragon Quest 11 and there's still like half the trophies left. I was like, wonder how far in, I was looking for my old PlayStation name. Now I'm online to see it, and I'm looking at Dragon Quest 11. I'm like, I beat that game, and it's still I'm 47% progress. I'm like, my gosh.
Beat 'em up says Sushi Striker for the next Olympics.
Oh, snap! Nice, that'll do it. But I'm like, man, I'm into the post game part, which, by the way, the end game of that is ridiculous. It's gonna be a while, but I'm looking at them like, man, they got some serious trophies in that game. And then that was the last Discord question, Evan?
Yep, last for this week.
Cool. Okay, so let's go into Activision Blizzard before we finish up with a few other super chats. Activision Blizzard, they are apparently laying off people. We'll find out this week. They're going to be restructuring.
Jeez.
Sounds like they're cutting the workforce around their marketing possibly and their QAs, and they might be keeping most of the developers because they want to restructure, cut some people, but keep or even expand on their gaming output for games. So they want to cut people but be able to produce more games.
Have they considered any cuts to their CFO bonuses or?
Yes, that's the biggest thing that everyone is also pointing out. It makes sense to me because one, their CEO makes a lot of money already, but their CFO bonus was $15 million in stocks and money just straight up as well.
Well, consider what types of games are generally quicker to produce, and those would be cell phone games, which I think Blizzard was.
No, Evan, you don't understand. All the people at Blizzard just play on their phones now. They don't like PC stuff anymore, man.
What, you don't have a computer?
That's what they said. They said all the people at Blizzard they just like playing their phones in the office. It's like, are you sure? Or, yeah, apparently. So there you go. Apparently, a lot of people were saying that Destiny had its own support staff there, PR, marketing, social media, business. Kotaku was talking about that, so they're probably out because there's no more Destiny.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they have to go. But it sounds like they just weren't happy with the amount of money that they made. And they have to cut some of they got to quote unquote kind of tighten their belt a bit apparently because they made a lot of money still last year. But I guess it wasn't enough money.
Not enough.
It must be so hard making $500 million like right away after Call of Duty comes out.
I mean, those 4 yachts aren't going to buy themselves, Jordan. So
It's true.
I mean, not wrong.
I mean that one yacht has a chef on it, man, a full-time chef.
Yeah,
Doesn't
they
they-
full home theaters on those yachts.
They're making all this money. They're complaining about it. They're cutting corners on other games they're working on. I mean, what is happening, man?
What is happening? It's
What happened to gaming?
investors mixed with games.
Didn't give Spyro enough time in the oven. They forced it out.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. They did.
They forced it out. I have had conversations with people who worked on the game that said that game, they wanted to release it in around April of this year. They wanted 6 more months, and they got till November. That was their ultimatum.
So let me help you out there with this one, Jordan. So their CEO, Bobby Kotick, made in 2017 $28.6 million.
Oh, nice.
How does it get by?
And life is a struggle at that point.
It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty clear what the issue obviously is, but
it's because they're not understanding. Like they're trying to get this fast, quick profit off of so many things, and they're not giving enough money to fund stuff longer in the oven. It's EA with their Star Wars, where they're like, "Oh, it's going to take too long. We need it out now."
Yeah.
Activision was like, "Okay, we need it out for this quarter. We need it out for this quarter. Oh, and then just put it out. Whatever, screw it." And
yeah, what's interesting is so Destiny 2 Forsaken expansion failed to meet Activision's expectations, but apparently Bungie was pretty happy with it. I remember they were talking on Twitter and stuff about how like some of the people there were like, "Oh yeah, it went well. We liked it. It seemed to do well enough." But Activision was probably expecting some big number out of that thing.
Well, I mean, they did put a bunch of money into it, but
I think they were expecting a bigger number because they're literally giving the game away for free.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why they're like expecting, okay, well, if it's $5 or you get it for free if you buy Spider-Man, like people are going to want to spend $40. They'll be willing to do that. I just don't think as many people followed their plan. I mean, still think it did good, but they expected a lot more because it was literally like free, just giving the game away. Or I think it was like, wasn't it on PS Plus?
It was on PlayStation Plus for free.
What,
yeah,
the Destiny one?
Yeah, Destiny 2 was.
Yeah, I got an email randomly that was like, "Do you have Blizzard Launcher? You have Destiny."
Yeah, I was going to say they did it on Battle.net, right?
Yeah, Battle.net for free as well. So, and like I said, if you bought Spider-Man or if you bought Dragon Quest, you got it for free at Best Buy that week as well. Yeah, and it was so you could have just got a free copy if you bought one of those 2 games. So I just think that they expected more people to to hop in with that, all those promotions and stuff.
Yeah, that's about right. That's but the real problem is, I mean, eventually you're going to get to a point where you can't like make more money on a franchise. Like you hit a peak, and what do you do then? Because it's live services, all these companies doing live services, but there's only so many people who are going to go to each live service, and the idea of a live service is to keep you there indefinitely.
And how many live services are you going to like be on, like each user?
Didn't they blame Fortnite for some, like missing?
That's one of the dumbest things I heard too. When they did that, I said, "Oh, come on,
dude!" Everyone's blaming Fortnite. Their game doesn't do well. Because everyone's still playing Fortnite. I'm like, "Because Fortnite's free."
I don't think they're like all the way wrong. I mean, I think it's stupid to blame Fortnite completely, but I don't think they're like 100% wrong. It's like there are some people that rather play Fortnite.
90% of the audience isn't going to buy a game anyway.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what should have happened. That blackout mode should have just been free. They should have just released that on its own.
Yeah, it should have been a separate release.
I mean, look what happened to Apex Legends. If I'm Activision,
in 3 days.
Man, we messed up.
Like I was saying, Activision's already scared of Apex Legends. They sent me a free copy of Blackouts 4 to play on the computer. I'm like, I don't want to play any of this. I don't want to play any of these battle royals. Now I'm more interested in Apex is what it has like all those other aspects as Evan was saying, but like
Evan just told you on that game.
I mean, I'm interested now if it's that good.
Yeah, check it out. I mean, you might get shit on early, but like just work through it.
Put it on Game Pass. We got a marketing campaign over here. Game Pass. Man, so it actually kind of reminds me basically what's been happening with games for a while now. It reminds me of the MMO RPG bubble from back in like the mid 2000s, late 2000s, I guess, with World of Warcraft and all these other ones came out. Evan, you remember how many free ones came out constantly? It's vying for everyone's attention.
Yeah, it still goes on today, and like it's pretty massive. It's crazy too because some of those free-to-play MMOs have incredible mechanics to them that they just die because
they pop up and they die because there's not enough attention for all of them. There's not enough players. And these are games that are $60 and they want you to stick around so you can keep buying stuff. And I'm like, I feel like, eventually it's just not going to work anymore. You're going to get to a peak and you're not going to do better than the year before. So, they made $500 million in the first week and they were disappointed. It's like, wow. All right. That's a lot of money in the first week. Not enough.
It's never enough.
Nope. Never will be enough. I mean, we saw Take-Two report 23 million sales units for Red Dead Redemption 2. Their stock still dropped.
Yeah. Well, that's like what I commented on your tweet when you sent that out, that I'm like, yes, it's a lot of these investors. They're just like, yeah, I guess that's okay. Because they're probably...
Well, actually, how much was the percentage drop? I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and apparently the market adjusts about 12% a year, regardless of investor interaction. So it might have just been an adjustment.
It dropped like 15%.
That's close.
Of their entire stock value, though. It dropped
that's what I'm saying. Like, apparently that happens a lot more than we think, and it's really not the investor interaction completely. It's just the market adjusting itself.
Yeah, that's where people need to stop paying attention so much to these stock fluctuations, because it really doesn't mean anything. Like in the case of Activision, yeah, it's bad that they're laying people off, and it seems like a lot of it has to do directly with them releasing Bungie and Destiny, because it's going to be the marketing people that they hired to handle Destiny. But like, I mean, people, you saw it with Sony and Nintendo. People lose their mind, goes, "Oh my god, Nintendo stock went down $2." Okay.
To be fair, if I kept an eye on that back when I bought the Dreamcast for full price, and then a year later or 6 months later it went on fire sale, I probably could have avoided that. Spending all that money.
They were screwed after the whole, like, all the different failures from the I knew like Dreamcast was like, I had a feeling that it was just not, things were going to go well. I waited. I mean, it's not like I could afford it anyway, but still, like, I mean,
you're saying, Nate, because people do keep an eye on the stock like that, like we really know what's going on. But sometimes you can see like GameStop stock, and you're like, yeah, they're probably in trouble. Go look at their 5-year. It's bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you got to really pull out that scale. I think, almost what you're getting to, it's like people don't look long enough. Like they see like a fluctuation over like a week or a month or something, they freak out, and it's like, yeah. But if you pull back like long term and it looks like it's going bad, then you probably have some problems.
Yeah, it's like people would look at like Nvidia stock and they say, "Oh no, look how bad it went down because their latest cards, they didn't have the sales they expected." And some of that, came due to the bubble burst of like Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. But Nvidia's stock, like, it's still over $200 a share. It's not like they collapsed from $300 to like $20 in like a month.
It used to be nowhere near that too. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, go back to like the Xbox days when Nvidia was like, Nvidia was still early on. It was like $18 a share.
Yeah, wow.
So I mean, people just have to, like, things fluctuate. That's the stock market. They fluctuate. It's not all doom. I mean, Activision's going to be fine in the end. I mean, yeah, investors. You buy low, sell high, and then when you sell at the high, it kind of goes down again.
But yeah, I mean, you kind of see the whole thing about these companies like have to try to appease these investors, like insane expectations.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's disappointing to see how Western studios treat the situations, because we'll look to Nintendo about 5 years ago. Wii U was doing terrible. You saw Iwata say, "I'm going to take a pay cut so we don't have to lay off employees." American society is Bobby Kotick isn't taking a pay cut. He's going to fire 400 people.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Plus, it's not even just like the pay cut. It's like the leadership of being like, hey, I'm in charge of the ship and I'm going to, take the hit for it.
Yeah, America would rather, some American CEOs rather just, they'll take that ship and run it into the ground. And then they'll take the only lifeboat with millions of dollars and say,
I'm
drinking your own.
Yeah. You're right.
Glad I sure got this pay bonus of $15 million.
Yep, I'm gonna go retire now. Yeah, basically, that's it.
Yeah, everyone else in the company screwed. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. As of now, they haven't announced anything, but we're expecting an announcement by like Tuesday at the earliest. What we're thinking. They'll put out a press release and everything, and I'm sure then it'll blow up again, and we'll find out more information. And the most interesting part is when those employees leave, I'm sure they'll want to talk to Kotaku and some other people. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure they got stories.
Yes. Let me go through some of the other super chats here before we finish up. Captain Planet says, "What was your favorite cartoon as a kid?"
Don't pay attention to him. Don't worry about him at all, whatever he says.
Uh-oh.
Beef.
Some beef there, man.
No, he's being silly because like I've talked about how much I hate Captain Planet. He was in my stream earlier. I reacted to Captain Planet like the live action Captain Planet, and my users literally paid me. I hate Captain Planet. I
hated the whole
hate
tree thing.
Why you don't like the environment being saved?
I don't like the show Captain Planet. It's a trash show.
He's a hero.
Dude.
He saves the planet
down to zero.
He's that sick
trash.
mullet.
He is Ted Turner's creation.
Garbage show.
I mean, I guess the easy answer, I guess, is Dragon Ball Z.
Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, Batman Beyond.
I love Hey Arnold and Cat Dog.
Ed, and Eddie all the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a good one too. Ed and Eddie.
Since Dragon Ball Z was already said, I'll say Gundam Wing.
Oh, Gundam Wing was
awesome.
Yeah, Gundam Wing was the best Gundam.
Now, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, good answer.
And Captain Planet.
And no.
And Rocco's Modern Life. That
Oh.
show's actually hilarious now.
Dude, when's that new one coming out?
Yeah, it aged well.
There's supposed to be that new one, man.
I think the movie comes out this summer.
About time. The Jungle movie took long enough, and that was decent. So I'll take.
Yeah, the Jungle movie was kind of confusing to me because all of a sudden they had like cell phones, but
Yeah.
they didn't grow up at all, but they had modern day technology.
At least for Rocco's Modern Life, they somehow go into the future.
Yeah, they go in the future, come back, they're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Let me go through some more of these super chats here from the SpawnCast chat. Mugen Lord says, "How about a Rockstar Punisher game?" I mean,
you could recreate that just by going on a rampage.
That's basically Max Payne. So, yeah, they could do it. Yeah.
They had that Punisher game on like the Xbox and that. I actually really like that.
That was cool because you would actually like do torture parts to people.
Those like kills were insane.
Yeah, you like shove a guy's head into like a piranha, like
Yeah, it was crazy.
Molten chrome at a car shop. Yeah, that was
Cool. I remember I tried it. Yeah, I remember I tried out one of my first video cards to that game when I first got it. That was pretty cool. Jalen says, "SpawnCast the best cast." Thank you, Jalen. Gibby says, "Could see EA doing Star Wars Battle Royale at some point. Could do 100 Jedi and Sith or function for droid."
Oh man.
Okay, that would be epic.
I mean, that's basically what they could make Battlefront into, just about, if they really wanted to.
But I'm surprised if the next Battlefront game isn't that or have something like that, then they're missing the mark. They don't
it has to just be all Ewoks with spears just running at each other.
Dude, everyone's an
Ewoks
Ewok
versus
until you
Jedis.
level up and buy skins to be other people.
And then Will McConnell says, "Only Mario game needs a sequel or remaster is the Striker series." You're absolutely right about that, Will McConnell. Thank you.
Strikers 3.
Strikers. Let's go.
You
Strikers.
just have to forget the Wii one even existed.
Yeah, don't worry about that one. You don't have to worry about that one. Just the GameCube. Captain Planet says, "What if Retro worked on Prime Hunter remake demo?" I mean, 3 years well spent. Another one where message was deleted. I guess something else was not said. Something that wasn't good there. I guess. Sakon 10 says, "Too bad Screw Attack is no more." Rip. Yeah, it was sad to see.
Yeah.
They've been dead for a while now.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then finally, this is a good quote because it's from EA. To finish up, Eric says, "It didn't sell well because there was no battle royale mode." That is probably one of the worst excuses I've ever heard as to why Battlefield 5 didn't sell on their part.
I feel like we're going to hear it more though from a lot of
their PR was terrible though in that. Like if they had just been quiet, it would have sold better.
Yeah.
From the jump from the initial trailer, like it had issues, and then they just kept making it worse and worse.
Yeah, you probably don't want to insult your fan base.
Yes, that's
Like, stop insulting everybody. Just sell the game. It's okay.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They like as soon as people started reacting a certain way, like, "Oh, the women can't." They should have just been like, "Oh, okay, that's it."
Yeah, you don't even.
Just said nothing. Just don't say anything.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. I feel like it's weird to just go crazy.
Like this direction we're going in. Well, so that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we're just. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, this is what we're doing, and that's that. And just let them complain and let them cry. Let people cry about it and all that.
Yeah, it turned into a whole movement. Like, and they missed their mark by 1 million units, and it makes you wonder. It's like, yeah, maybe if they didn't do that, I've been curious at least to see. But now everything about that was just bad leading up to it. Like, it was so bad that Respawn actually said they want to just drop it, let the gameplay speak for itself rather than have a build up and let EA try to handle it.
Honestly, that's the way to do games sometimes. In my opinion, I like that method more. Like without I don't need like 10 E3s, like to get ready for a game.
And it makes you curious enough to want to play it because it's there. It's right there and it's good to go, as opposed to waiting for 2 years of speculation and people complaining about things that don't actually matter at all. And then you're just out of it. You don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what Nintendo does.
I mean,
they do a 6-month lead up. It's just,
Apex had a good advantage, obviously, because it was free, though. So it's not like a $60 game just released today. Go figure out, make sure you can buy it. It's like,
definitely.
Go download it. Okay, yeah, I'll go download it.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was saying that helped a lot. What were you saying, AJ?
Yeah. Obviously for a bigger game, you need to make sure there's a little bit more marketing. But like, I just get kind of tired of like the 2, 3, waiting like 3 years for Horizon Zero Dawn or like Bloodborne, waiting like forever, like a million different E3s. It's like we don't need that. Breath
of the Wild.
That was a rough wait.
Crackdown 3.
Skyward Sword was like we waited all generation for Skyward Sword. Like, bro, come on. Like,
I still joke in videos about the Breath of the Wild, the like first trailer, and then it like fades to white and goes 2015. Like, how did that work?
Oh man.
People gotta stop laughing at Crackdown 3 around here.
It's hard not to.
3 and people just start laughing, and it's like
it has to stop being a joke.
It's the best joke of 2019 so far.
Hey, I'm playing that single player, and I'll probably be sad doing it. That's fine. James Al says, "Be awesome if Bethesda would reboot Turok like Doom and Wolf classic shooters."
That'd be cool.
Some of the later stories in the Turok series were actually really good. Oblivion was fun to play.
I like Turok. I'd be down for a cool.
They did like a kind of a remaster, I guess, of Turok, and they put it out on the Xbox.
What
you're talking about the one where they actually go to planets and they hunt dinosaurs? Like that's their thing. Was that the one you're talking about?
I was like,
that was like a re-envisioning of the series.
Yeah. I guess that's all of the. That's all the super chats. I guess that's going to do it here for tonight. Let me go around and thanks to our guest tonight, Shy Guy. Thanks for joining us. Where can they find you, man?
You can find me at YouTube at Shy Guy. That's my channel. And then on Twitter at Johnny Zakari. And yeah, thanks for having me on. This was great.
Yep. Everybody who's on the panel here, all their links are down in the description. You can go check them out, their channels. Nate had his first discussion video yesterday, right, Nate?
Yeah, that's right.
You got to go check that out. Where can they find you, though, since you're apparently going to be doing more discussion videos?
Yeah, they can find me on Twitter at DirectFeedGames. There's a link to my YouTube channel there. And yeah, discussion videos are going to be a rare occurrence. It'll be after directs or when I find topics of interest. So, maybe 2 or 3 a month. No more than that, though. And otherwise, there'll be direct feed footage of upcoming or recently released games for Switch, PS4, and Xbox One on the channel. Daily.
Okay, very good. Jeff just dropped a $20 super chat with no message. Jeff, I don't know if you were going to type something there, but if you were going to type something, you can leave a message down in the chat, and I'll look for it. But thank you for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate it. Let me go to Jordan. Jordan's working on some stuff soon. Where can they find you, Jordan?
You can find me on the YouTube channel, Jordan Fringe. I have a lot of new content coming out. I'm coming back with like 3 different videos next week, but the important video is Wednesday, even though it's going to get overshadowed with this direct possibly now, is my first documentary. And I'll say it here I don't think I've outed what it's about confirmed yet, but it's on Star Wars 1313, and you may hear a certain Spawnwave voice at a part of it. So if you want to know about Star Wars 13 a little bit more and maybe some stuff you didn't know why it got canceled and all that, check out the video on Wednesday.
I feel like it would just make me hurt too much.
Yeah, it's not a happy story.
Then OJ, where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. Also on Twitter at Player Essence. Not exactly sure all the content that I'm going to be doing for next week. Just I cover a lot of Nintendo news, Japanese gaming, and all that stuff. So we have streams. We have Q&As and streams every single day, Monday through Saturday, just not Sundays. But so if you're into Japanese gaming news, RPGs, Nintendo stuff, all that good stuff, action games, Devil May Cry, we're going to be covering that. Check out the channel.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. And then Evan's on Twitter. I don't know if you have anything else coming up, Evan, other than some of your artwork that you're doing and everything.
Specific, working on some shirt designs for us as well as Max.
Shirt design. Cool. All right.
Leveling up in Apex Legends.
Yes. You're at that cap, man. Cool. And that's going to do it here tonight for SpawnCast episode 97. We'll be back next week, hopefully to talk about things like a Nintendo Direct and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Throughout the week. And we'll see you guys next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. See you guys then.